Try this again. Okay, you're just gonna, and you said you're just gonna look for it manually, right?
Yeah, I just.
Because I sent out a different tweet this time and like just linked directly to my channel for people to find it on because it should show up right on the channel thing and then what's it? I'll bring that up to just a little bit fuzzy, but not too fuzzy. What's so funny?
Nothing.
Did you see the meme that I posted in the chat earlier?
I may have.
The one about Dark Souls.
That one. I most certainly did see that.
I'm not tired. I don't know why I keep yawning.
Wing of Shoe is here. Hello, Wing of Shoe.
Hello! Sorry if you got confused by, me trying to set up the stream earlier, but apparently the URL that I was trying to send out on Twitter didn't link directly to this stream, so I just, turned it off so I could turn it back on again and get the right link. Also, I hope that this doesn't look too, pixely. I don't know how far I'm gonna actually get on said picture, but I should at least be able to get the lines and base colors done. I think it's gonna turn out pretty sweet.
Oh, Krita had an update recently, and they removed a lot of the brushes that I usually used.
Oh, why would they remove brushes?
Because they're jerks.
Yeah,
and really, I mean, it's a free product, so whatever they do to make.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you really can't complain about it, then, can you?
Yeah.
I'm on the right layer.
I mean,
right?
they have brush packs available, but it's just that's a hassle.
Now, can you like go onto one of those like brusheasy.com and download brushes like you can for Photoshop?
Yeah.
So Photoshop brushes work in Krita just fine?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Cool.
That might have been what I installed before I decided it sucked. Those brushes sucked. But my natural paintbrush is just it's just the primary paintbrush that I usually use is just it's gone, and the one that they added, the weight settings are just like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I tried to like paint a few things with regular marker brush, and it looked all cartoony and the lines were way too thick. I had it set to 1, and it was just like, this is disgusting.
Oh no. Darn.
Oh, anyway, Wing of Shoe says there is no color yet. Well,
no, it
black
won't.
and white is sort of a color.
Black and white are shades, technically.
Oh, that's right. Black is not a color. That is right.
I mean, unless we went in here and went into like this section, this is technically a color right here. What color is it? Really, really, really dark red, almost black, but not quite black. No, but I'll make sure to put a link in the description when the stream is over and the picture is finished. I could have just started with, like, actually trying to sketch something on Photoshop, but that would have taken up way too much time. Instead, we'll get to the colors in a little bit. And then when I'm done with this, I might just, take the stream and I might make a speed paint out of it, depending.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea. Let's see.
And play copyrighted music because I can't monetize videos anyway.
Rip. Maybe you should start posting Coke-sponsored content.
I'd drink Coca-Cola on a video if it meant getting my monetization.
Wow, the tooth rotting flavor of Coca-Cola. You can almost taste the diabetes.
Yeah, my one brother, he used to like drinking Coca-Cola so much, and it eventually started making his stomach upset. So now he has to be really careful about how much of any given soda he drinks. So kind of funny.
My sister used to drink a lot of Dr. Pepper, and it gave her migraines. I have no idea what's in Dr. Pepper that could give you migraines, but it's...
I'm like the...
I mean...
I don't know if there's anybody else in my immediate family who actually... who doesn't like Dr. Pepper to the same extent that I do. I don't like it. I don't like that, and I don't like flavored colas, like the cherries and the vanillas. It's just not my taste.
I will drink the occasional Dr. Pepper, but I prefer regular cola. And I prefer Pepsi over Coke. It's because Coke is just, like, really harsh. And, maybe it's more acidic. I don't know.
Could be. Could be part of what was making my brother's stomach so upset.
Flavor in the Coke. No.
Is there a slight lemon flavor to it? I never noticed.
Yeah, there's a little bit of one. Wing of Shoe, India uses Coke as a cleaner. That wrap around you. Oh yeah, you can use Coke to get other stains out.
I believe that. Yeah, I saw like a dye. I don't remember what exactly it was that you used Coke to get. What kind of stains you used to get. You get out with Coke, but I did see a diagram of it on Pinterest one day, and I was like, oh, that's handy. Whether or not I actually remembered to pin it to my board of potentially useless knowledge, I will eventually find out.
Oh yeah, I should definitely drink stain remover. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. That is an interesting fact.
It's oh, you know what? It might be the citrus inside the Coke.
Oh yeah, you did just mention that, so.
And you can definitely use citrus as like a wood cleaner.
Mhm. I've used wood cleaner before, and everything smells like lemons for a while.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, there are worse things to smell like than lemons, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whatever it was that we managed to clean out of the refrigerator last weekend, that was intense.
Yeah.
It smelled really bad. The house was starting to smell like death.
Oh, we used, for a while, we used, like, these, it's like off-brand,
I'm so sorry. Garbage. I'm so sorry, Wing of Shoe, and anyone else who is watching this and can't actually tell what it is I'm doing because of the ill-defined lines on the paper. I can kind of see what I was trying to do here, though.
Oh, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go look for brushes now because those brushes aren't okay. Credo brushes. We no longer support brushes. You're just gonna have third-party brushes. You're just gonna have to use these crappy ones we have installed. Yeah, they totally removed like half the brushes. Half of the brushes are now gone. I have no idea why.
Yeah. I don't let me think. Considering that I'm going to be drawing a lot of stuff related to... I could possibly be drawing a lot of stuff related to Angels of Death. I don't actually have any brushes that are supposed to simulate blood splatters yet. Maybe I'm just lazy and I don't want to look for more, what do you call it? More art brushes on the internet. Because it can be hard to find the right ones. It's like they look okay, but then you download them, and on a site like Brush Easy, if you don't want to, like, subscribe to them, you gotta be careful about which ones you choose, because you can only download so many. I still can't seem to find the sparkle brushes that we had back in high school when I was first learning how to use Photoshop. It was a miraculous time. Even out of high school, though, my art skills weren't great. And by that, I mean, like, my ability to use Photoshop. I didn't quite grasp the concept of all the different layers. And it's like, why different layers? Like, even nowadays, when I'm doing a painting like the ones in the thumbnail, which is complete now, by the way, now that thumbnail is complete, I still do most of that art on one layer. I know that people who are really good at making portraits and stuff like that, they have like the hair and the facial features all on different layers and stuff, and you can barely tell. It all looks really uniform.
Well, this brush set is absolutely disgusting. Let's go to the next one, mostly comprising of, like, stamps. Like, what am I gonna use stamps for? What is this? Give me brushes.
That is kind of what a lot of brushes are, though. Stamps.
No. We are not using stamps. We are... Yeah, that looks good, actually. What does this brush do? Oh, it's square! That's what I want, a square brush. Thank you for the square brush.
There's a tool like that in Photoshop called a pencil tool. If you wanna draw like you did in Microsoft Paint back in back in the day when Microsoft Paint was the only program you could use to draw on.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate it. There are people who can make better art in Paint than I can in Photoshop, so it's all about practice and maximizing your potential.
Is here.
Welcome, Trainer Mana.
Beep beep sheep for some reason.
It's one of those ASDF videos. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Well, they are they're funny in the way that incredibly memey, stupid things can be funny. I suggest if you want to laugh at things that are you can't say they're not stupid. It's incredibly stupid, but it's funny. So yeah, check that out. That was, unless they made an ASDF movie 11, that was in the 10th one, so it was in the most recent one. They're like 3-minute long little clips of nonsense and hilarity.
Yeah.
Oh, they're animated, yes, they're also animated.
I didn't have a better way to introduce myself as Trainer Mana Sumi. The lawyers have been called.
Maybe you're lawyers, but I don't have any. Actually, yes, I do know a lawyer personally. Actually,
I used to.
No, but don't worry, I won't sue you for your choice of entrance. That's not what we're about here. We're about currently not being able to tell what the heck it is I am doing because the lines are blending in with the pixels of the picture that I took a picture of on my phone earlier. The quality should be fine.
Do you have the sketch? Did you reduce the opacity of the sketch?
No, I haven't. I know that would greatly help in this situation, but...
Yeah, it would help.
We'll see, once I'm done with this character. Boop, and boop, we're still working.
Trainer Mana, oh, well, Wing of Shu first. Min's long video of band college shows. One is my spoon is too big. Oh yeah, I what was it? Rejected Cartoons, is it called? What is it called? Rejected Cartoons. I really like that. That animator made a. Oh no! My Hero Academia spoilers on my recommended.
No!
Yeah.
Don't get any ideas. No spoilers in the chat. Had too many.
Oh my goodness. I can kick now!
I can kick! Good job, Deku. You can kick. Oh my gosh, you thought of using your feet. Congratulations. Boys, too pure.
His dad says, Trainer Mana.
Nah. I know there's a theory about that floating around.
Trainer Mana says, All Might kill your Uraraka. It was Dio the entire time.
It was Dio the entire time. Yes, I believe it.
You know what? If they did that, I'd still watch. Just.
It was Dio the entire time.
My Hero Academia is like is a secret JoJo series.
Yes, I believe it. It's in the future when everybody has stands.
Oh my god.
You thought everybody was. It's all the work of an enemy stand. That's it. We gotta get the conspirators. Gotta get the conspirators around here.
The glowing baby, the glowing baby in the prequel or the prologue, excuse me. Oh, that was Dio. The glowing baby. The vampire.
And his yes, and his stand. His stand made it so that everybody else got these weird powers, and it's affected generations since then.
So he could have a suitable body forever.
Yes.
There we go. A vampire that has to switch bodies. That sounds, yeah. JoJo's interesting.
Well, that's why I drew a thing.
Casey Smith says here, hello Casey Smith.
Hello Casey. Welcome to the stream. Eventually, if you decide to stick around, or if you decide to come back after the stream is over, you will see colors. But for now, it's all black and white.
I've been watching the original Naruto series. I could be watching JoJo, but hey, there's the Naruto series, so I need to be watching JoJo. I know this. I promised you like a bazillion years ago that I would, but it's just like.
What was it that I only got around to recently? Like, for years, besides JoJo, Chase managed to get me into JoJo relatively quickly, and there's a story behind that I just need to, like, make an animatic for.
Casey Smith says, you pronounced my name right for the first time, yes. How do you mispronounce Casey? Cassie? Oh, I suppose you could mispronounce it Cassie. Trainer Mana, hey Spam, want to know how to fix your lines?
Yeah, well, I'm open to suggestions. How do I fix the lines? Which are not broken, but I'm always looking to improve them. So that I'm not constantly
Oh,
flipping.
that's cheap. Trainer Mana, I mean, it'll work, but it's color the lines red and then dim down the luminescence. So, I mean, like down the.
Oh, you mean so that we can? You mean so that we can see it better, like that?
No, you can tell what the hell you're drawing.
Yes.
That works too.
I could have done that earlier, but I like to challenge myself in stupid ways. But yeah, for the sake of everybody else in the stream, and I guess for my own ease, I will keep it this way. We'll make it easier to see what it is I'm tracing over, as it were. Oh, I need a new stylus. The pressure settings in this one are not failing yet, but the nub on the tip is starting to get a little weird. Oop. Oh, that one turned out really good. Look how that line turned out.
Oh boy. Trainermon, I'm not sure if I asked Spam, but have you ever played Persona?
I have not played Persona. I've been recommended to play it by a friend of mine a lot. And I worked at a video game store for a little while, so when I saw the trailers for Persona 5, I was like, oh, wow, that looks really cool. But then a long time of me trying to figure out going about that and trying to understand the Persona series. Not that it's hard to understand, I don't think. I mean, I worked for a video game store, so it's not like I couldn't get my hands on the first game or anything like that. And supposedly, I guess you wouldn't have to play them in order to understand them. Like, I was told to only worry about 4 and 5. I heard of it, I know what it's about. And I know that nobody is impressed with the anime for Persona 5, which came out, I think it's finished now? Well, more or less. It came out this past year. Nobody's impressed with it. Chase said they did a couple of things good. But other than that, it's not fabulous. You know what is fabulous, though? Cells at Work.
Cells at Work is fabulous.
Have you actually been watching it, or,
Just clips. I mean, it's 13 episodes. I don't know if I want to watch something that's only 13 episodes.
I was so upset when I found out about that. But to answer your question, in case you didn't, yes, I know Persona. I've never played it, though, and I am a little apprehensive to try. It's something that I would do in my free time, and, I wouldn't, probably play it on the channel. Because those games are long.
Trainer Mana reports that the platelets have been looted.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware people will loot the poor platelets.
Rest in peace.
Poor platelets. The little lollies and Shota platelets. Knew people were gonna do that, though. They're too adorable for people to keep their lewd hands off of. They've got their own little theme music that plays whenever they show up, and it's just like, oh, they're adorable. Maybe I did record me and my sisters watching the first episode. Tried to upload it, it didn't work. It was before I could even, like, actually publish it. It got, what do you call it? It got flagged and blocked worldwide. So, if I, splice it together really well, maybe I can get it to work. But, for now, the reaction video is not up.
I just want to use my phone. Trainer Mana wants to know, hey Spam, do you have a Tumblr?
I do not have a Tumblr. Not at this point, anyway. I've considered getting one as just another place to put up my arts and stuff like that. More exposure and whatnot.
He's asking, or she's asking, I'm not sure. I'm asking so I can send you leak maymays.
I have, I'm not sure if I want to share my Pinterest, but I've got lots of, actually, my Pinterest is linked on my YouTube channel, actually. So if you want to see the kind of trash I'm always pinning, and the constant memes, then, you can check out my Pinterest. There's lewd stuff on Pinterest more frequently as well. It used to be safe. For the first year or so that I was on Pinterest, it was a safe place and you get a lot of really cool stuff, but now it's like you gotta actually be careful on Pinterest now.
Wing of Shoe, Kana X platelets.
Kana X platelets.
Wing of Shoe, I'm putting you in a timeout here.
Ravioli times 4.
Casey Smith, have you ever played Toho?
Toho?
Toho? I've been getting into that lately, and Tumblr is dying, so don't bother getting one.
Tumblr is dying, oh no. Or, oh yes,
yeah,
depending on depending on who you are.
Okay, Tumblr is just content and people wanting seeking attention. That's all Tumblr is.
I will give Tumblr credit though. They, unlike DeviantArt, there's at least like this almost lynch mob standard for art on there. I've never seen Tumblr art that's as bad as what you can find on DeviantArt.
No.
Toho, I've heard of it, and I know that a lot of people like it. I know that there are plenty of JoJo references in Toho as well. And I've been told that it's got music similar to this game that I'm actually drawing the JoJo crossover art of, Angels of Death, that has the anime coming out. I kind of been freaking out on it about it on Twitter. Hope nobody's too bugged by that, but I've been waiting for this for a while, and against my better judgment, I'm showing how happy I am with it.
Casey Smith, yes, because Tumblr needs to be put out of its misery. It does. It absolutely does. It's the worst. It's the, well, it's like 4chan's, how do I put this?
Oh, that was...
Like 4chan's cousin
that was the wrong brush.
It's like 4chan.
Yeah. Anything
like
good
and
anything good and funny that I can find on Tumblr does end up on Pinterest eventually, because people like screenshot it and share it and stuff like that. So that's why, I guess that's the reason why I never felt the need to get one, is because all the fun Tumblr stuff always shows up on my Pinterest feed.
Trainer Mon, I have yet to see any SJW on Tumblr. Okay, see, yeah, I think they got bullied off the internet, that part of the internet, because of just the memes. And the memes just, you know, involve taking screenshots and just posting the screenshots, just not saying anything else, just posting those screenshots of people who think that they're dogs, werewolves, dragonkin.
The good news is, it is true that even though there are fandoms and stuff where that people consider toxic, there's usually a good side to it. So of course I am inclined to believe that Tumblr is in fact not all evil.
Well, there was that one girl a few years ago that got hospitalized because she drew a picture of Garnet from Steven Universe, and she didn't use a dark enough shade of brown, and they just they just sat there and accused her of being racist, and they like doxed her, and she tried to. Yeah, she got hospitalized.
Yes, there are some scummy people out there, and you'll always find them on the internet too, because it's their haven. I'll admit there are some things that I'm more willing to say on the internet behind a screen than I am in person. I try not to be like that, but it's just like I must be a force for good, but
my fandom is still pretty obscure for it to be corrupted by the Tumblr kind. It's in the phase where the memes are getting good enough for normies to notice.
Which fandom would that be?
40K.
Ah, Warhammer, yeah.
I've been seeing more 40K memes all over the place. I'm like, uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I hate drawing shoes. Did I finish her hands and her arms?
I don't
okay.
have a problem with more people getting into 40K. Maybe they'll drop their miniature prices.
Yeah.
I saw someone with a suggestion that like Disney buy 40K.
Uh-oh.
Now,
does that sound like a good idea or a bad idea to you?
Well, yeah, here it is. Initially, I thought it was a bad idea because it's Disney. They're just going to The Last Jedi it to death. But Disney is a huge corporation. They have tons of resources and facilities to make miniature parts. The prices would inevitably reach like rock bottom, and just to the point you could just go to a toy store and find. You
could actually purchase the miniatures for the for the tabletop
without having to actually sacrifice something to the Chaos Gods.
Blood for the Blood God.
Wing of Shu, I'll take BattleTech over 40K. Both are good though. 40K ripped off of BattleTech. That's one of the franchises that 40K ripped off of. Well, Casey. Casey says that she always wanted to be an internet troll, but she was too much. But I was always too much of a coward, which is probably good. Okay, well, no, it's probably because you have too much of a conscience. Internet trolls, like the domains that they inhabit, they're a little amygdala deficient, if you know what I mean. It is probably a good sign. I mean, I will occasionally troll someone who really gets on my nerves, but I won't go full Christian and track somebody down and film them doing crazy stuff. Trainer Mana, hey Spam, have you ever considered writing?
Writing? Like the medium of art? Yes, as a matter of fact, I have, and I like to write. And if I was, I have written some things before, but I don't think it's been a while since I actually put anything out on the internet because none of it gets finished. From what I've seen on Pinterest, I'm a bit of a typical writer because, like, when I sit down and write, I can do a few pages at a time. But then I stop, and then it's impossible to continue typing. I've got lots of stuff that I would love to write, though. I've got lots of stuff that I would love to write. I'll just leave it at that for now. I do, in fact, like the,
Wing of Shoe, I'm actually gonna be cringy right now and look up the actual prices for Lehman Russ tapes.
Uh-oh.
Not sure it's quite as bad as $300, but, boy oh boy, it's close.
It could look better, but we shall continue. I'm gonna do the sound effects.
If the website will load. Many monies. Trainer Mana, continuation of his last comment. Or would your writing devolve into handsome men doing handsome things?
Handsome men doing handsome things. Maybe. Maybe.
Wow.
I honestly can't really say. There's a lot to it, and it's one of those things where it's like I would love to share my stories, because I've seen people like on DeviantArt who literally just post a picture of something that they're working on, like a story or whatnot, and then they write a little bit of the story or context for what's going on, and they use that to develop their characters and stuff like that. And I'm like, I wish I could do that. I should just do that. I should just start, and hence the heads. Hence the heads of the characters that I drew, which I'm working on the expression sheet. I'm working on the expression sheet for those guys.
Oh boy. Okay, a Bane Blade is $140. A Lehman Russ is $50. That's what I thought. It's about 50. See, vehicles are usually like 50 to 70. Hellhounds are 50. Manticores are 50. Valkyries are 66. So not quite 300. And yeah, Games Workshop now makes Bane Blades. They used to not be make Bane Blades. You used to have to buy them from... Oh god, who are the guys that do like custom stuff? They make Titans. And, I can't remember. But I know that the most expensive piece that you can buy from them is like $1,400.
Oh yikes!
And it's a Tau Manta. Many money, many dollars. You can only use them in Apocalypse games though, which is like 4v4.
Very, very specialized.
Yes, big maps, long games. Basically field everything that you have. So you have like a point limit in Warhammer 40,000.
Mm-hmm.
In Apocalypse, there is no point limit. You just field everything you have, and you use Titans.
Let's widen
let me catch up with the chat. Anyway, who's the guy? I'm Kenyatta. I am the reader of the chat.
The reader of chat.
I'm the reader of the chat. Let's see.
He is a good friend of mine.
Most interesting.
We like to talk about nerd-related things. Although, the most of what I've admitted to this before, but the most of what I know about Warhammer is basically what I learned from If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device by Brava Alphabusa. And I actually, if you look back in the history of my YouTube channel, 2 Thanksgivings ago, I uploaded a parody of his parody where I took the Chaos Gods talking on Spacebook, and I synced their voices to Yu Yu Hakusho characters, and then just uploaded that. It never got monetized. I never actually pressed the little green button back when I had the potential to make money off of YouTube. It was a fun project to do, though, because I told my brother that I would do it if he got me the audio clips, and lo and behold, he rewatched the show because he loved it and got the audio clips, and I said okay. Okay, I watched Yu Yu Hakusho a couple of times, and I think I know how I can do this.
So,
Blood for the
3
blood.
1-inch resin models. How much do you think they cost?
So they are 1 inch tall, and you could like
made out of plastic resin.
you could like 3D print these.
Yeah. They don't want you to know that.
You know, that's what I was saying. Did you know Funimation's website? I told you Funimation's website crashed last week because of a metallic Whis Funko Pop figure, right? That was like limited edition, and a lot of people were trying to get it. It also put off the first dubbed episode of Angels of Death. And that's the only I like half complained about it at first when I found out that it was coming on Tuesday instead of Monday. But then when I saw the debacle that was going on, I was like, oh, sorry guys, it looks like you've got other stuff to sort out first. And I was really half tempted to think of all these people who were complaining about it, and I'm just like, it's a Funko Pop figure, you know, it's a piece of plastic. You could 3D print one of those. And then paint it yourself with all the shiny colors.
The thing with 3D printing, the technology isn't quite good enough to make the fine movements required to capture all of the detail of like a 40K miniature. 5-10 years, the technology will be caught up.
Yeah, but but the Funko Pop it could do.
Oh, the Funko Pop. Yeah, no, you could probably do a Funko Pop.
But I've seen 3D printed things. They're still kind of what do you call it? You know, they're built in layers, right? So you know they've kind of got this stringy looking texture and stuff like that.
What was it a pop of? Did you
Whis from Dragon Ball Super, and he had like a metallic, it was like metallic or shiny or something like that, and I'm just like, it's a shiny Whis! Oh no, everybody's freaking out about it. It's a shiny Whis. I'm on their Twitter, and as they're still making their announcement about the new Cybele dubs and stuff like that, people are still asking about it, and I'm like, oh, leave them alone. I don't even know the status of what's going on with that, but please leave them alone. It's plastic. I mean, am I being inconsiderate by just telling people to get over it? Am I being being inconsiderate? Oh no. By being like, okay, it's plastic. I mean, I'd probably get upset over something like that if it was something I actually wanted, but in the case of a Funko Pop, the answer is no. No, I just don't care that much.
Yeah. Funko Pop, something I'm never gonna remove from the box. It's just, it's gonna be great. I'm just gonna put it in my weeb case. My weeb, what is it, weeb cabinet. I call them I call that sort of display cabinet the weeb cabinet, because I've never seen anyone with it like a display cabinet with anything besides like miniature lewd figurines and like fake katanas and crap. Like I've never seen those used as like regular china cabinets. Like everyone I know that has one of those.
I'm trying to find bookshelves to keep my manga collection on. I've got a cabinet that I put my manga in. I've got plenty of space for it, but it's like, hey, it won't all fit in the parts that you can actually see into it. I've got this really awesome, that I got from Yumacon, I have this really awesome JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Phantom Blood figure. Like, every time I go to Yumacon, I try to get a figure of some sort, but I've got like this really, but I've got these standards of like what it is I expect to get out of it. So it's like, I don't like the ones that have movable parts. I don't like the posable ones. Like, if they're interchangeable, like, you can change up the faces with some of them. Or this Hiei figure that I have, you can change up his arms so that he has, like, the Dragon of the Darkness flame coming off of it and stuff like that. Some of the parts can be removable, fine, but I don't like the ones with the posable joints. So, you know, that leaves, like, that automatically X's off a lot of the stuff that you can get at conventions. It's like, nope, I just wanted to sit there looking pretty.
Casey Smith is actually referring to it in the chat now as a weed cabinet. I don't mean to sound like a normie, but I wouldn't collect the manga unless it was like really special, like Berserk. When that's finished, I plan on buying the entire collection.
When it's finished, I told somebody before that when it's finished, I will read the manga. When it's finished,
it's kind of brutal.
I'm aware, but
I don't know if you'd be interested in that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm willing to give it a shot. It's supposed to be really good, if not really gory. And well, as long as it has story and characters to back it up, and it's not just gory for the sake of being gory, then I'm willing to give it a shot.
Trainer Mana, yo spam, you do Dark Souls.
Well, I sent a Dark Souls meme over to Kenyatta a little while ago. And Chase. I am half tempted to try Dark Souls, but, again, that's probably something that I would do in my free time. As far as video games that I'll put on the channel, the closest one we have coming in September is the Spyro the Dragon Reignited trilogy, where I am going to play the, it's not a reboot, what do you call it? The remaster of the first game on 100% completionist mode. Because that Spyro game is, it's gonna be fun. I played the original, and it was one of the first games that I ever actually played to completion. Not a huge gamer, as I've repeatedly said, but I expect to see all the Spyro on my channel. For a while, anyway. The picture is now menacing. Had to get that
definitely try to do like I could create another channel and we could do Stardew.
I'm still gonna have to, yeah. And yes, at Kenyatta's best, we will play Stardew Valley.
It is the most brutal, the most extreme. It's just if you are below the age of like 72, you are not ready for that level of brutality and gore and like human anguish. It is the most
human anguish based off of what you've said about it, I believe.
It's for big boys only, that's right. That's right, Trainer Mana. It is for the big boys only.
Okay, one character lined, one more to go. Got the menacing effects in there.
It's not at all deceptively cute. It's as chill as it is cute. So, okay, you will definitely enjoy it. There's a lot of planning involved. If you want to get a lot of money. I mean, if we were to play it, I don't think I would get out like a min-max cheat out. We just like blunt force all the way through the year.
Yeah, was Stardew Valley one of those games that you can play forever? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, like Animal Crossing.
Gosh, dang it. Lines work.
The Noah is here, and he says the Gintama anime has been really solid recently.
Oh, Gintama?
Okay.
I've only seen a few. I've only seen a few clips of Gintama before in like anime crack videos and try not to laugh videos, and I have to say it looks absolutely hilarious. Again, it's one of those things where once it's finished, I'll probably go off and read the manga because it's like it's just funny. It really is. It's absurd. It's absurdist funny, and it parodies literally everything. Is it technically a gag manga or technically no? Anybody know? Because I know it's Shonen Jump, but I don't know if it's technically a gag manga. It's really funny, but I don't know if that's the point. And then a gag manga and a comedy manga are not always the same thing. I need a drink. Make the lines work, please.
Oh, I've seen a few clips from this.
It's freaking hilarious.
There's a movie.
There is a live action movie.
Yes, yes, indeed.
I've heard that people actually like it, but I could be wrong on that. What I've heard is usually based off of Pinterest. Boop. Watching a thing, Kenyatta?
Yeah. Let's see. Noah says it has comedy arcs and some serious arcs sprinkled in. I don't know if I like that.
I know that from what I've seen, I like it. I also know that the best third-person assist character in J-Star's Victory Versus is the girl with the pink hair and the really big fluffy dog. Best assist in J-Stars. The dog just bowls you over and it's like, what even is that?
Trainer Mana asks, Spam, what is your thoughts on Burb?
Burb?
Like Burbs?
Like the meme?
Like Burb memes? Or a specific Burb? Oh no.
Because I like bird memes.
I do like Burbs.
They're incredibly...
I pelted the chat with Burb memes for like a straight week.
That's true, you did. They were good memes, though. Like the little one that's just shaking the cup and it's just vibrating across the table.
Like a little wind-up toy. Yeah, that's like one of my favorites.
As for birds themselves, like just the animal, I would never have one as a pet. Because they're kind of messy. And we took care of my cousin's bird like once, and it was very messy. No more bird pets. Raptors are pretty cool though, and most songbirds.
Are chickens raptors?
I don't know, you're gonna have to look that up.
I don't know why, that just like popped into my head right then. Are chickens raptors? Please say yes. I don't think they fit the parameters of being a raptor.
They've got claws.
Yeah, but not a specific sort of. Oh, I don't know. Raptors.
It's just no matter how big I make this, I think the scythe is going to be going off of the. It's going to be going off
Not
the
the
darn
Toronto
screen.
Raptors. No, I stopped with the freaking birds of prey. I mean, they go after like corn and stuff that you throw. That's sort of like a bird of prey.
I mean, I guess. Question mark.
I've seen a chicken eat a rat before. Hunts and feeds on rodents and other animals, so you know, I mean.
Why didn't you just
Then
Google
again,
whether or not chickens are raptors?
A bird with has very good eyesight for finding food. I mean, chickens definitely have amazing eyesight.
I think I'm gonna leave Zach off for a second just so that I can do a little bit of coloring. Because the lines are taking way... Because I've got more than one character in the picture, that's why it's taking longer.
Trainer Mana said, by the way, Spam, I send you burbs. Watch at your own discretion.
Ah, I will. I most certainly will.
It's deep web stuff.
Oh
It's
no.
like, burb is code for like for like live leak videos.
You... Oh no. I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll see
Burb
if we
is
can
drugs, according to Trainer Mana.
get... Burb is drugs.
Oh no, that is right. Bird is code for like a key of cocaine, isn't it? Oh. No, that's not what you meant.
And darn it, her coat is white, so it's gonna.
Don't
be
ask
really
how I
hard.
know that. I'm not. I always have to explain that I know things. And
explain why you know certain things.
and why I know certain things. Who dares corrupt Burb?
Why is the colors solid? Oh. Oh. This is sad. Okay, so
Poverty-stricken individuals of the hood persuasion, that's who corrupts Burbs.
okay. You don't have a solid layer and a color layer.
Burb.exe. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a live leak video.
It's the colors. That's what I wanted to call it. Let's make sure the solid layer and the color layer are two different layers this time so that people can see a little bit of the color. It's taking so long to do the lines. Sorry, Zach, you're gonna have to wait.
There aren't really a lot. It doesn't seem like there are particularly specific definitions for what a raptor is. Migratory patterns, sexual dimorphism, nothing bone related. Oh, wait.
This is just gonna have to be taken
No.
this then.
I suppose just predatory birds. Birds that particularly go after nanimals. Yeah. So I guess chickens might be raptors. Oh, Trainer Mana has to go. He has to go draw his own stuffs.
Oh, well, thank you for dropping by. You'll see this on DeviantArt soon enough, as soon as it's finished. Colors happening now.
What, you're not using the fill tool?
No, I'm not using the fill tool.
Oh, you are, you're a pleb. Let's see, I don't know, using the fill tool is actually in and of itself really plebby. How am I gonna color this? I'm just gonna use the fill tool.
Yeah, I mean, even if you use the fill tool in a way that it'll actually help you color, it's, you're still gonna need to go underneath the lines and stuff like that. I haven't mastered the art of, fill coloring yet. You know what, I don't practice it, so I don't think I will ever master it.
You have to go and fix all the tips that didn't get filled in.
Yep.
Especially on hair. Oh boy.
Yep, and here we go. Speaking of hair, this is where's
Casey Smith says, I like that yellow.
You like the yellow? No, thank you. If nothing else, we're gonna get
Oh no.
Oh no, what's Kenyatta looking at now?
Chicken. I guess I'm looking up chicken's natural diet in the wild.
It's weird to think about wild chickens. Sounds scary.
just you're walking through the rainforest and you look up, it's like nighttime, you look up, it's like there are predators in the rainforest, we gotta be careful. You look up, you shine your flashlight up, and it's just a chicken staring for like 50 feet up. You can just see him just in a branch just staring down.
Yeah, that really does sound terrifying, though.
No, that wouldn't. No, I mean, if you shined your light around it and then you found like a pack of chickens, that would be a problem.
Wouldn't you call that a flock? A flock of chickens?
No, it's a pack of chickens.
It's a
pack of predatory chickens. It's like a bunch of wolves. Chickens actually have different calls for aerial and ground foes, Wing of Shoe says.
Oh, nice. I can believe that. As kids, you only learn about the barking and the clucking, but I do believe that there are different noises for different scenarios.
There are jungle fowls. I forgot about that. And rainforest chickens.
Rainforest chicken. I don't know why that's making me laugh so hard, but it is.
I don't know, chickens are just like a really funny animal, because I guess they're used in comedy a lot.
That's
I don't know
true.
why, because, I mean, maybe it's because their head bobs all the, I mean, when they walk, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. I don't feel like
I missed a spot. There we go.
the chickens like drag you back to their den, and you get eaten alive by like 500 chicks. They're a bunch of they're the piranhas of the jungle. Of course, piranhas are the piranhas of the jungle, but I mean, the way you've drawn those eyes, and you're doing the color, it almost looks like Dr. Seuss art.
Well, I guess it does. Alright, let's add the... Okay, what shade of blue are her eyes? Darn it. Let's add blue to those peepers. Whatever, they're gonna be this...
What do you call, Wing of Shoe, what do you call two crows hanging out a murder, right?
Yes. You do call... Or attempted murder. It's attempted murder. Because there's only two of them, and that's not technically a group. Mm-hmm. It's attempted murder. Crows are really...
the Brazilian wandering spider, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Why are we suddenly talking about spiders now?
I don't know, Wing of Shoe wants to talk about spiders now, so we're talking about spiders.
Oh no.
Would you like to know why they're called the Brazilian wandering spider?
You know what, yes, I want to know. You have piqued my interest.
They're very furtive and shy, they like to hide places. Mostly shoes and pillowcases and things like that. And they're very big.
I bet they are.
God, that would be a terrible place to live, like Brazil or like Venezuela, or not just because
hey,
of the economy.
Don't knock the people who live there. Somebody might be watching from one of those countries.
Oh, yeah, but wow, you gotta deal with. They also call the banana spider, I guess. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know what a banana spider is.
Yeah. Those are fun to get bitten by. Oh, not fun.
It reminds me of this story of this bird spider. You know what a bird spider is? So they're down in Africa, and my cousin... Bill, he was in the military, right? So anyway, I forgot what they were doing down there. Just, some delivering work or something like that, I don't remember. But anyway, this bird spider managed to get in their boat. And, somebody found it, and, brought a bunch of the guys down to get rid of it, right? And he's like, okay, so why'd you call, like, 5 to 10 of us down here to get rid of a spider? And this thing had, like, a leg span of 5 feet, right? So he's like, oh, okay.
Spiders are, like, at most the size of, like, a textbook. Like an open textbook.
No, it was big. It was a bird spider, and it had like a leg span of 5 feet, and so he's like, oh, so that's why, and he shot it. He just straight up shot it. And then when they looked at him after he shot it, like, what did you do that for? And he's like, what did you think I was going to do? You think I'm gonna try and handle that thing with my hands? It's just sitting there. Like, oh. Giant freaking spider. What did you think I was going to do?
Casey Smith says, if you want to talk about spiders on the Christian Minecraft stream, you really have to talk about flamethrowers to burn the spiders with.
Flamen warfare. Yes. Spiders are, spiders indeed. I got another story about spiders. Apparently it was a tarantula that, or a spider or something like that, that bit J.R.R. Tolkien when he was a kid. That is the reason why so many fantasy stories and fantasy worlds nowadays have giant spiders. Supposedly the guy wasn't afraid of spiders after that. But, you know, when you look in every single one of the stories that he wrote, whether it was The Hobbit, or, you know, The Return of the King, or something like that, giant evil spiders trying to kill everybody. So it's like, okay. You weren't afraid of spiders. Sure, dude, I believe you. Oh, they can be creepy.
Okay, why would you include that in an article about this thing? Oh, okay, I looked up Goliath birding spider, right?
Yes.
Because I wanted to get spooky up in here. Just in the habitat section, just as like a complete and freaking non sequitur, the spider is part of the local cuisine in northeastern South America and prepared by sending off the urticating hairs, which they use like as a weapon, by the way.
Yes.
And roasting it in banana leaves. The flavor has been described as shrimp leg. Okay, first and foremost, hungry. I don't care how hungry I am. That's gonna be a no. I will eat the banana leaf. Brad, give me a banana. Where did you get that banana leaf? Give me the banana. Oh, it tastes like shrimp. Give me a banana.
Tastes like chicken of the sea.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken of the sea. Well, they better not exist in the ocean. Never go swimming again. Sharks? Yeah, no problem. Giant spiders? No thanks.
You can bring the flamethrower in now. Now that we've had that little tidbit about cooking spiders. I love how random these conversations can get, though. Okay, that should be closed now. Fill tool. There we go.
Their core body is as large as my hand. That's not okay. I would use a gun.
I would use a gun. There's no way I'm getting close to that thing.
I'm starting to think this shade of gray is too dark, but I can't. I have to use something that's darker than white. Otherwise, I won't be able to see where I'm coloring unless I make it completely opaque. But even that's completely unless you make the background invisible. But even then, you still got the white and gray squares.
Glad we don't have that much oxygen on this planet anymore.
Don't know more giant freaking bugs.
Trying everything.
I'm missing a line here. Darn you lines.
Casey Smith, asterisk, cocks flamethrower. Now, you wouldn't cock a flamethrower. You would turn on the gas supply of the flamethrower. Or the liquid napalm feed of a flamethrower. You wouldn't necessarily cock a flamethrower.
Well, I'm sure you could make a flamethrower you could do that with, though.
I mean, if you made one like a squirt gun that you had to pressurize the tube, you had to pressurize the tank so you could get the liquid out. I guess, like a squirt gun. Oh, Tomfoolery is here.
Hello,
Just
Tomfoolery.
finished Steel Ball Run, and now I must ask, who is your favorite racer?
Diego Brando, because dinosaurs. I had the Scary Monsters arc of Steel Ball Run. It's probably my favorite JoJo arc of all time. just because it was like, oh my gosh, it's a dinosaur! What's a dinosaur? Really, Johnny? Really? On a certain level, I can't blame Johnny for not knowing what a dinosaur was, though. It's not exactly like it was completely common knowledge back in 1888, so...
Conservation status of chickens.
Oh, that's strange.
In the freezer. It'll last for a while if you put it in the freezer.
Yeah, and once again, I feel like I'm missing lines here. I probably am. But whatever. It's something I can fix as I go along.
I would be fine with a chicken as a pet. Humans commonly chickens for food. Let's look up weird animals. Let's see.
Like weird pets or weird animals?
I don't know, weird pets. The chinchilla. The people keep chinchillas as pets.
You can't wash chinchillas, not with water anyway. You gotta dust bathe them because their fur is so dense. And they can't catch fleas because the fleas will suffocate in their fur.
Wow.
That's how fluffy chinchillas are.
That's pretty great, actually.
Pretty neat.
Capybaras is another pet that I've seen people with.
A pet capybara, well, it is the world's largest rodent.
Big mouse.
But it doesn't...
They're kind of like dogs. I've heard they're just like dogs. Just like really sleepy dogs. They kind of look like really sleepy dogs.
I think that the thing that I wouldn't like about having a capybara, though, is that, you know, it's a big rodent, so it's like its teeth are always growing. So how do you work that into taking care of it? Feed it lots. Feed it lots of carrots.
Well, you would like buy a maybe a scratching post and remove the twine. So it can chew on the scratching post, maybe.
That might work.
Continuously feed him, like, blocks of wood. I don't know.
Pet beaver. No, I wouldn't be able to do a beaver as a pet either. I don't think I could do any, quote, exotic animals as pets. For now, Rufus is good enough.
Okay, so apparently we're back on spiders. In the chat, Wing of Shoe pet tarantulas are seen enough, and they are smart enough to make friends with the owner.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, you know what? A pet tarantula. If someone had a pet tarantula, I might be cool with that because they're actually pretty chill creatures. Like they're not like, I will take big fluffy tarantula that's not trying to kill you over a penny over like a nickel-sized black widow that is aggressive and can kill you and will kill you if you even get close to it. Comparatively, I'll take the big fluffy thing over the tiny nasty thing.
Gross.
Yep.
Casey Smith, I'll take them as pets because they're behind a plastic screen.
Yeah, until you approach the enclosure one day and can't find them.
It's like Jurassic World. It's like, we can't find it. Open the enclosure to see if it's still in there. Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Pretty cool to look at in, like, the zoo and stuff like that, though. It's like, oh, that's cool, and then a butterfly flies too close to you and you start freaking out. It's like, ah!
Oh, Gabriella's here.
Oh, hey, Gabs! Welcome to the chat. Not sure if you heard the extensive conversation we were having about spiders, but we've also got flamethrowers to take care of the spiders at this point, so we're good.
Thinking of other pets. Water monitors. I have a water monitor as a pet. Just don't have any other pets. Babies. Definitely babies. No babies, no other pets. They're definitely babies. Small dogs, deer. They're not nice lizards. They're funny though. I mean, I saw this video. It must have been in the Philippines. It's just in this little neighborhood, and this water monitor was trying to break into this house. And I don't know. The mom had the son walk, come out to the front and make like a little lasso, and he roped the thing, and it just went limp and just kind of. Have you ever seen a protest? The way to tick off the cops when you're protesting, parentheses, rioting, is to, when you're about to get arrested, just to go limp and have them carry your dead weight. It'll I don't know, make the cops tired fast, I guess, because you're not being cooperative.
So the lizard did that?
Yeah. He looked very disappointed, to be honest. I think they were, like, cooking dinner. And the lizard just, I mean, he wanted some.
It's like, oh, you making food in there? Can I join? No. We're just gonna kind of drag you away. Aww.
It's really dangerous, though. They have that septic bite that is not very pleasant. It still looks like a Dr. Seuss character, Mary.
Yeah, she will for a while. I always do that with the eyes. I know, it's the half pupils. I just like to know where I put them. Once you add the shiny parts, it starts to look less like a Dr. Seuss character. Not much, but a little less. Okay, let's go on, what do you call it? Let's just clean up those a little bit.
Oh, kimono dragons. They're a lot more aggressive than, about our monitors? Conservation status. Vulnerable. I mean, yeah. When they stop attacking children, I suppose they'll stop being vulnerable. Megafauna.
Big animals.
Yeah, big animals, elephants, rhinos, things like that. For some reason, there's a Brachiosaurus in this diagram. Not exactly part of our ecosystem anymore, but okay. Oh, and some mega mammals from the Ice Age. I think that is a mega sloth. Oh wait, no, it says it right here. It just lists the Latin name. Probably a mega sloth. Very big.
Big sloths.
Oh, one of my mean posts was just my mean posts. Was just parted by the channel I posted it on. I was talking about this comic having like Gilmore Girls dialogue, and I said something about it's like the worst show I've ever seen in terms of dialogue.
No, you've seen Red Garden now, so.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna say that Gilmore Girls has worse dialogue than Red Garden. Okay, no one, like, after this, look up, like, any scene from Gilmore Girls, no one talks like that. Literally no human being speaks the way that the characters in Gilmore Girls speak. No one on this planet does, unless they've just done a lot of drugs.
Watched a few episodes of the Gilmore Girls. Never got around to watching the rest. Let me think. What else did I watch? What else did I watch on Netflix?
They are in the chat. They are talking about the virility of certain JoJo characters.
Ah, okay.
That's why I'm not reading them out loud. I'm sitting here like,
who's the biggest JoJo character you think?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Don't much care either.
The art style, I would assume, quite virile, quite able to reproduce. Oh my god. People have tried. That's gonna be your next video.
No, it's not.
Who's the biggest show star?
No comment.
It's Dio. He's not a Joe star, but he's
Honorary
well, technically,
star.
in Stardust Crusaders, it wouldn't be his anyway.
Technically so.
That's probably why he's so angry.
No, no more laughing. Laughing only encourages it.
Probably looks like a pinky toe. I'm just looking at my foot right now, and I'm like, what can I compare it to? Like a pinky toe. Here we go.
Neither the first nor the last time such a conversation has been held.
Let's see. No, not that page. Oh my god, that is all they're talking about. They're terrible. You should feel ashamed. There are children, I'm sure, in the chat. Gabrielle's in the chat.
Oh no, Gabs.
For life.
Shield your eyes, Gabrielle.
Shield your ears. Well, I mean, no, your eyes and your ears because of what's coming out of my mouth. To be honest. Blah 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 blah. I'm just looking up big animals. Not related to what the chat is talking about. I just clicked a link on megafauna. Brachiosaurus. I've always wanted to like a.
Oh, speaking of Mega, anybody gonna go see that new not Jaws movie?
Oh, the Meg.
The Meg, yeah.
Looks like trash.
We gotta kill this giant shark.
Big
Why?
fucking sharks.
This could be like the last one. Why are we gonna kill it?
Because it's dangerous.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, but what? Let me ask you something. Why would a megalodon hunt humans swimming at the beach? Okay, first of all, they couldn't even get up that far up the beach. Okay, unless they wanted to die. Okay, second of all,
it does want to die,
it
Kenyatta.
would be like eating Tic Tacs. Megalodons would go after like giant squid whales, things like that. Orcas. Stupid movie. I'm calling it now. Stupid movie.
I believe it. Cheap thrills, cheap thrills.
Gabrielle, I'm a not a child. Jeez, guys, XD.
Shush, as far as anyone's concerned, you're a child.
Wing of Shoe, you want logic in a Hollywood movie? Yes, I want logic. I want it to be scientifically accurate. 'Cause that's what's fun.
Pacific Rim. 2 people have to
Yeah,
pilot.
Pacific Rim is scientifically accurate.
The first one.
Yep, the first one. It's 100% scientifically accurate. Let's see, what else is scientifically accurate? I want scientifically accurate space battles. No noise.
No explosions.
Ship death. Death would just mean, like, loss of systems, and it would just kind of float there. That's exciting. No noise.
No explosions.
No well, short explosions. Very, very short explosions.
Small explosions.
Enough to rip the inside of like the engine.
Just so that everybody can see. We have some menacing sound effects on here. And I'm just gonna need to move it over again. The scythe isn't gonna fit in the picture. It didn't fit when I was drawing it either.
There's a show called The Expanse, and they have scientifically accurate space battles, and it's actually pretty cool. They have rail guns, and ships don't explode. They just the engines kind of just die. There's no artificial gravity on the ships, kind of like Gundam.
Gundam isn't scientifically accurate.
Sort of. I mean,
Only 14-year-olds can pilot the
robots.
mechs.
I mean, it's not a very practical, I question what what weapon designers were thinking when they came up with like giant humanoid robots, space fighting robots. Like, I mean, you can do everything, pretty much everything with like a fighter plane, the fighter shuttle, except for like sword fighting, but you can eliminate it completely by
Shooting
both
it.
sides eliminating. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, it would be cool. The Jaegers make sense. I mean, you're fighting a monster with a robot. That makes sense.
If you're gonna pay homage to all them anime about fighting monsters with giant robots, you may as well do it that way.
Casey Smith, I recently watched Mean Girls. It was a funny movie, and I love Gretchen.
I've never seen Mean Girls. I only know the memes. And I don't even know all of the memes. All I know is that there's a bunch of Mean Girls memes. Sudden silence. You still there, Kenyatta?
Hmm?
I said sudden silence.
I'm just reading the chat. Robotech is more ridiculous by having... What? Robotech is more... Not even how you spell ridiculous. By having a battered pop star.
Oh, that's true. They do have idols in Robotech, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's two genres of anime I'm not really interested in. Idols and mechs. Very few mech anime have actually caught my interest.
I don't think Warhammer 40,000 came up with like a single idea of their own. They just kind of like ripped off of everyone. Like BattleTech got ripped off of by 40K. Judge Dredd got ripped off of by 40K. Starship Troopers, Dune. I'm pretty sure Forever War got ripped off of Event Horizon. Don't watch Event Horizon. Nobody in the chat watch Event Horizon. Mary, don't watch Event Horizon.
I won't.
It's too edgy for you.
Yeah. Let me think. What's the edgiest thing I've ever watched? Quick, Gabrielle. What's the edgiest anime I've ever watched? Is it Dead Man Wonderland? Is that the edgiest thing I've ever watched?
Gabrielle says, clown stands are for children, serial killer stands are for Rachel Gardner.
Yes, that's true. Exactly. And you knew I was kind of going for the Death 13 look here, at least when it came to the whole siphon stuff like that.
Gabrielle says, Hellsing Ultimate, ?
That's right, but Dead Man Wonderland is the edgiest thing I, watched and liked. Well.
I still have to watch Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah. Don't.
Wing of Shoe, Shadow the Hedgehog is up there in edginess. You're absolutely right.
You're right. Shadow is pretty edgy.
Yeah, if you're like 9. You're 9 years old. Let's look at some big plants.
Yay, giant plants now.
Yeah.
Are you that bored, Kenyatta?
Yes. Oh no, I'm not bored. I just got something to do. I'll just end up like drawing like, well, I don't know what I have Credo open, but I'm just like meh. Oh, the reason I'm like meh is because of the freaking brushes.
Oh yeah, that's
making me
why.
angry.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We talked about the lack of whatever you would call what is going on with Krita and these brushes. But you can't complain because you got it for free.
Oh, Gabrielle's leaving.
Oh, you are? Oh, well. Probably not going to be on for that much longer anyway. I thought I was going to be able to get this done faster, but then I realized...
Smith. No, Casey Smith is leaving. Gabrielle's still here. Goodbye, Casey Smith.
Goodbye. I will have this, I will make sure the picture is finished, and it'll be, when this thing is re-uploaded, when it gets finished, it'll be, the complete link to it on Twitter or DeviantArt or any other place I decide to put it, because I think it's gonna look good. And I don't always think my art is gonna look good. See ya. Thank you. But yeah, I was looking at preference pictures for Death 13 earlier. I liked that arc. That was an interesting arc in Stardust Crusaders. The next dubbed episode of Angels of Death comes out tomorrow, and that's got me excited. Good stuff.
Gabrielle says that's the worst drawing I've ever seen in my entire life, and you should feel terrible.
Well, you're not one to talk.
Woo! I'm just joking.
Not
Just said I like it so far.
The sketch turned out really good. Lines take so long to do, but whatever.
How can I both shut up and tell the truth? I mean,
that would be a very difficult thing to do. I guess I could write it down.
She PM'd me and says she wants to read chat next time. I asked if she wanted to do it this time, but she was like, no, I'm tired and gotta do other stuff, understandably so. I know why she's tired. She's had a long day, but still. If this seems like fun, I do like having people read the chat. And you see, you could watch, like, with full screen and read the chat because you've got 2 computer screens. Lucky duck, I'm on 2 computer screens.
One Wing of Shoe One Piece has 1,059 videos on Crunchyroll. I bet
it does. I know a bunch of them are clips, but there are. It does have a lot of.
We're not quite on 1,000 though.
Nope. They've got more than 900 chapters.
Are they coming up on 900? No.
They've got over 900 chapters. I mean, I read JoJo's, so if One Piece ever ends, you know, it's one of those things that I might give it a shot. But it's because... But recently I've been trying to not be that person who... I've been trying to not be that person who watches something just to say that I watched it, because that's a lot of the mentality when it comes to, like, the, quote, anime fandom, unquote. It's like you've gotta... And that's probably also why I'm not a big anime YouTuber, is because I like to talk about what I like to talk about, and not just what's popular. It just climactically happens that Cells at Work is a lot more popular on Crunchyroll than I thought it would be. Which may or may not be in part due to me clickbaiting a bunch of JoJo fans into watching a video where I had to say, hey, guess what David Production's doing? And no, I'm not sorry for doing that. People needed to know about that. And we're getting part 5 anyway, so there's nothing to be mad about. I'm excited for that, too.
Noah asks, have you ever read any visual novels?
Visual novels? Angels of Death actually was kind of like a visual novel, the way the gameplay worked. You were just reading and reading and reading. Do you count my playthrough of the Joestar Struck demo? Because there's this JoJo dating sim fan game, and I played the demo. I can't wait for the full game to come out. You should check that out. If you count that as a visual novel, then I have in fact read a visual novel.
I've read a couple visual novels.
I know you have.
Like, well, how do you... What do you mean you know I have?
You're always talking about games on Steam. Certain games.
Oh, no, I've never played Necobara. No. I don't, it's not in my Steam library. And I've never played it. To close that loophole. No. I've thought about it. It's just, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's just... No, it's just... I don't know.
No, I wouldn't, if you... I didn't think that you'd ever actually played Necobara.
No.
Hands are a pain in the butt, but I believe I am getting better at drawing them.
No, to name a few great ones, the Chaos had the Chaos Child series made by the Steingate guys.
Oh, I've watched Steins Gate, and I know Steins Gate 0 is coming out, so I'm probably going to have to rewatch Steins Gate and then watch Steins Gate 0 after that. Funimation's been having a lot of fun putting stuff about that on the Twitter.
I hope I didn't make your sister angry. It was just banter. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I can go overboard.
No, I don't think you did. But I can't read her mind from across computer screens, so I can't exactly say.
She says, "You're fine, I'm just a loud person, XD.
It's true, she can get loud.
Wing of Shoe, so what's up with Code Trash Part 3?
Oh.
Is there a Code Trash Part 3?
Are we talking about Code Geass?
I think that's what Wing of Shoe wrote. I read it as Code Trash.
Oh, okay. You read it as Code Trash. I don't know. I don't intend... from what I've heard, from what Chase has told me, they're gonna delve into alternate timelines. So, literally, everybody...
When Lelouch doesn't suck and he's not a Ladouche.
So basically... what was it? There's, out at the end of Code Geass, they left it open as to whether or not Lelouch was actually alive in the end, right? Mm-hmm. Left it open, quote unquote. He was totally alive at the end. But, apparently there are going to be alternate universes so that no one was wrong on that debate. So there's like one version where he's dead and one version where he's alive or some other fun stuff like that. They don't need a third season of Code Geass. They don't need a second season of Fooly Cooly either. They don't need a third season of Fooly Cooly. Then again, I haven't been watching it because I don't feel like there was a need for these things to exist.
Yeah, but Fooly Cooly, there's a difference between needing or not needing a season 2 of Fooly Cooly, season 3 of Code Geass. See, season 1 of Fooly Cooly was perfect. You didn't, and I don't think you need any more Fooly or Cooly content. It's over. It's done. Code Geass, there shouldn't even have been one season, to be honest. I know how that makes certain parties angry, but it's the truth.
I mean, it's anime art-wise. I mean, it's the reason. It's one of the reasons why I hate DeviantArt. Is people use bases, and it seems like in Code Geass they went the DeviantArt route. They used bases, and everyone's face is exactly the same. They have like one template for females and one template for males, and if you just switch the hair and the eye color of certain characters, they would be the same character. And it's just, it makes me angry. And Lelouch is, for a supposed genius, he's an absolute moron.
I'm gonna try the same military tactic twice in a row and see if it works. I really do think that, yeah, you're like, for a supposed genius, he really only has like a 50% success rate.
He killed Euphemia, the princess, because reasons.
Because he was an idiot and wasn't keeping an eye on his Geass and said something stupid, and, hello. In case anybody was gonna ask, I'm also not a big fan of Code Geass.
Neither am I, and I'm going to babble about it.
Unless somebody else has a different anime to bring up so that we can stop babbling about it.
Somebody bring up something terrible.
The Red Garden!
Somebody talk about Red Garden in the chat. Talk about how much I loved Red Garden. They made, Mary and Chase made me watch Red Garden. And,
we didn't make you.
She called it Code Geass. Yes, I agree. It is what I usually call it. But Code Trash is more family friendly, I suppose.
Yeah, these guys, these wonderful people made me watch. Made me watch Red Garden, and it was the most traumatic moments of my life. I go to therapy every Thursday.
And he just talks about the horrors of this show. So, yeah, we're actually talking about making a parody of Red Garden. A short parody. In case anyone was curious, when that finally shows up. We've debated it, we're not gonna call it Red Garbage because it's too on the nose. I did warn you, though. At first I was legitimately trying to trick you into watching it by leaving out the fact that I hated it. But eventually I was just like, no, it's mean. I said, okay, no, never mind. When I was trying to trick you into watching it last week was when Chase decided he was gonna watch it, even though I warned him multiple times that it was a joke. Like a cruel and unusual punishment. Because I was trying to get you to watch Yuri on Ice so that you could share in our pain. Because he watched Yuri on Ice, too.
I watched one episode of Yuri on Ice, and that was enough.
Yuri on Ice is bad for different reasons, though. Red Garden is like...
Okay, well, at least Yuri on Ice has natural dialogue, and it's not... the plot is going somewhere. Okay? The Red Garden is 20 episodes, and then you figure out what it's about.
Yep.
And 3 episodes later, the series is over.
Yep.
Captain Harlock is a good recovery anime, even if Shu says good things about Captain Harlock.
You could also watch 91 Days. That's another one I highly
91
recommend. You also haven't watched the last 3 episodes of Baccano, so if you ever want to get around to those... I'm sorry, I gotta get off your case about the, all the anime you haven't watched yet.
I know, your reminders help, though.
91 Days was really good. And it's the thing I go to if anyone were ever to accuse me of only like anime with happy endings. I point to 91 Days, like, this isn't happy, but it was satisfying to watch.
Gabrielle says 91 days made me cry.
Understandably so. Yeah, what was it? You watched 91 Days. What was it? You watched 91 Days, and what was the other one that you watched back to back with 91 Days, Gabs? It was 91 Days and...
Casey Smith is back. Hello, Casey Smith.
Welcome back! I'm still putting the lines on Zack the Ripper over here. This is gonna take a little while longer. Oh well, I underestimated how I underestimated how long it would take me to do this. But I remember I recommended two of them. I recommended two of them for Gabs to watch, and she watched. Oh, Parasite! Parasite the Maxim. That's the other one you watched back to back with 91 Days. That's the other one you watched. And it's not as, I'm not sure I would call 91 Days depressing. Some people might see it that way. But it is definitely less so, it's more so depressing than, Parasite is.
I have to watch Parasite.
I keep forgetting that Parasite is technically considered a horror anime, so, you know, I liked it.
The Thing, the anime.
You heard?
Essentially.
Essentially.
School days.
No. Just no, I heard School Days, and I'm like, nope.
Casey Smith, School Days, lots of murderous melodrama, but it's my murderous melodrama.
Well, you do you, Casey.
School Days is basically this guy, like, screws around the school and then he gets his head chopped off and then credits, right?
Yep. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's my understanding of it.
Yep, the guy puts notches on his belt and then his head eventually gets notched.
Oh, that's right. She also watched The Great Passage in close conjunction to 91 Days in Parasite, which is not nearly as depressing as either of those. Actually, it's slice of life. It's the one that you guys may or may not heard of about these guys writing a dictionary. I highly recommend it.
Casey Smith, but first he gets stabbed by a pregnant girl. Oh, does he get a girl pregnant too?
No, I think that she was. I think she was lying. I believe she was lying about that.
Oh, I was gonna say.
No, she was lying.
That's what happens when you're a bum BD, as it were. Baby daddy. I don't have to take care of my kids. Get stabbed.
Poor Rufus is probably sitting back and scraping, waiting for my cousin to come home.
Just go watch Hokuto no Ken. Yeah, I guess.
That's true. Fist of the North Star is manly.
Yeah.
It was manly before JoJo was manly in terms of timeline.
The remakes of Fist of the North Star, the few movies that they've done, it's somehow made it more manly. Like Kenshiro's like 3 times larger.
It's HD. Okay, so who wants to know if Kenshiro is taller than Bash the Stampede or not? Actually, I think they're the same height, and it's like 5'7" or something like that. Or no, maybe Kenshiro was 6'1". I think Kenshiro was 6'1", along with, let me think, Zack, my friend Zack with the scythe here, and Seto Kaiba, and Spike Spiegel, and Grimmjow from Bleach, and Shizuo from Durarara. They're all 6'1". They're all the exact same height.
Well, Ken is shorter than Rao. Rao is 6'11". So... Yeah,
it's just...
I don't know, hold on.
Oh, that reminds me of the first time that, like, I didn't realize while I was playing J-Stars that Rao and Kenshiro, if you power them up, like, you can just sit there and power up like they do in these anime, and that you can sit there and get them to power up, and if you max power them, you know, their shirts blast off in the anime manly way that actually happens in the show, and the first time that happened, I was like, what? It's like, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I know this happens. But I just kind of stood there for a minute like, wow, they put that in the game. That's so funny.
This wiki has heights.
As, what do you call it? As Darth Vader would say, most impressive.
Here we go. Height 6'1". So
Ah,
you were right.
So yeah, he's the same height as Seto Kaiba.
I want to see him fight Seto Kaiba.
Kaiba's just gonna, like, hit him with the briefcase or something.
Like Flask into SpongeBob. That's what's gonna happen.
I've just got a list of anime character heights because it fascinates me to think about how tall these characters are in relation to each other. And some of them get really crazy.
And Yugi is what, like 3'8"?
No,
Yeah,
Yugi's 5 feet. 5 foot 2? No, he's 5 feet.
I'm still taller.
But yeah, I mean, Yugi is 5'4".
Little shrimp. But Cammy's still a kid.
It's funny because there's actually a recorded height difference between regular Yugi and Yami Yugi. Merrick, Bakura, no height difference. Yugi, most certainly so.
Did I spell Rao?
R-A-O-H.
Oh, I had A and O.
You had it spelled Roa? But yeah, if anybody wants to talk to me about anime character heights, just because it's one of the funniest things in the world, I got lots of fun comparisons. And I bet Gabrielle is rolling her eyes right now because she's heard too much about it.
Rao's neck is 26 inches in circumference. That's interesting. I'd still fight him though.
Well, somebody's got to make shirts for him, so I suppose it was necessary to measure that. His shirts to just get blasted off.
I'd fight him if I had like a gun and I was far away, and he was like drunk and half dead. I'd fight him.
This done here. This scythe. I'm gonna hate myself for the scythe.
6'11". He's a freaking space marine.
I thought Space Marines were like...
They're like 8 feet tall. The thing is, as deep as the lore goes with 40k, there aren't like definite stats for like Space Marines. It like one book might refute what the next says. But the most agreed upon height for an unarmored Space Marine is like
8
it's
or 9
almost
feet
8
tall?
feet tall.
Almost 8?
Like
Okay.
7 and 11. And it depends on the Space Marine. Now, Primarchs are like almost 10 feet tall. Unarmored. Somebody did some rein, as it were, with the Primarchs, and figured out that Horus was like 12 or 13 feet tall. But I mean, the Primarchs are just like the shortest is Magnus, I believe.
He's a demon prince now, though.
Yeah, and he's really big now. But that's what his demon princedom was about. It was about
make me big,
jealous of his brothers being taller than him, and having both of their eyes. Now he's a demon prince with still one eye.
Beggars can't be choosers, Magnus. I remember when I was just drawing nothing but Nekos last November. My brother asked for Neko Magnus the Red, so that's what I drew.
That's cute.
It did turn out pretty cute, actually.
Was it just regular Magnus the Red, or was it Demon Prince Magnus?
Most certainly Demon Prince Magnus, based off of the newest figure that they made of him. Looked it up, I was like, why aren't the colors consistent? Oh, because each of these was individually hand-painted by the person who bought it. Oh, because you have to actually assemble and paint this figure. Oh. It's like, Magnus. Magnus the Red. Magnus the Bookworm. Primarch.
40K anime by the people who do Fist of the North Star would be pretty great.
I'd watch it. It'd be brutal and disgusting, but I would watch it. Oh, I would watch it? No, I would watch it so that I could take clips of the characters and then do what I did with Yu Yu Hakusho and just make the characters, I'll take Emperor text-to-speech clips and make the voices from that come out of their mouths. And all you JoJo fans, there are plenty of JoJo references, and if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, and that's essentially what got me into 40K. I can trace the roots of many of my fandom obsessions, including Angels of Death, back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure somehow. Everything goes back to JoJo. Absolutely everything. Speaking of which, I've got to make sure that when I'm done with this, I can't be too obsessed with drawing things related to Angels of Death, because I have to, I've got to draw chibis of the gang stars so that I can make little prints of them and give them out at Youmacon this year if I get my JoJo panel again. Which, JoJo is relevant this year, so it should totally be doable. No, don't get me wrong, JoJo is always relevant. JoJo is never not relevant, but last year, because there wasn't a new season or something like that, they decided to forego the JoJo panel. Ah! Chase, why are you sending me these things? No!
What?
Let me draw my art in peace! No, I ain't sending it. Oh, no.
Browsing again, distracted. Always distracted. Let's see the chat.
You've been missing the chat, Kenyatta. Shame on you.
Cassie Smith demands to know what's being sent.
Oh, well,
I know
let's...
in Chase probably some Persona-like content. Am I wrong?
No, it's most certainly
Oh
not
my.
Persona related. It is most certainly related to my current obsession called Angels of Death. The game which I played. I should just stream me playing the game again. That's what I should do.
We haven't even gotten started. We haven't even gotten started on the Red Garden parody, and I've already come up with another parody based on your Angels of Death show.
And you haven't even seen much of it.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Just dub it with like Scooby-Doo, where are you? Just different scenes.
Yes.
Just splice them together. They're
Hey.
walking down the hallway and there's a painting, and you will like Photoshop a painting in from Scooby-Doo, and it watches them walk by. And we'll give the Reaper the voice of Scooby. So we can have him say,
Yes. Zach. Where? Dog, where? We're talking about you, Zach. Oh. Zach the Ripper, he's the best character. He's an idiot. Probably wouldn't like him as much if he wasn't stupid. The scriptwriter for the English dub of the anime, though, actually played the game #for_science. And there are little callbacks here and there to the dialogue from the game, and it is just making my experience. Gabs won't even watch she won't even watch the subtitled version anymore because she knows we're just gonna get a more satisfying dubbed version afterward. I need to keep watching it though. I need to keep watching the subtitled version for my screenshot mood board. That is nothing but different faces that Zach makes throughout it.
Crassy Smath said XD. Apparently I pronounced it Cassie just then, and oops. So I pronounced it even poorer than that. Just to be the guy.
Just to be the guy.
Just to be that guy. Be that cringy guy. Let's see. What are they? Not penises anymore, thank goodness.
The power of suggestion is a powerful thing, Kenyatta. Yes, I have. They're gonna do OVAs of the How the Kurama Met Hiei chapter from the manga, which I've always wanted to see, which is one of the few things in the anime I felt sorry that they left out. One of the few things from the manga they left out of the anime. I cannot wait for that. Kurama as a child with short hair is very adorable. And I hope they can get the English dub cast back together because, as Chris Sabat said at Motor City Comic-Con, he said, well, I don't know why they wouldn't, considering, we're still alive and still around and totally willing to reprise those roles. So, yeah. Give me back, I don't know why Chase is killing me with this image. Because he's evil sometimes, that's why. Yes, I am really excited about that. And apparently they're also gonna do the kind of comedic the kind of comedic final chapter, which I was not sorry that they left out of the anime, because I thought that the anime did the ending kind of better. And by that point in the manga, Genkai is, like, spoiler, kind of confirmed to have died by the point that that is happening, and I'm just like, no! No! Sadness. I'll still watch it anyway. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I want OVAs of all of those little extra scenes, though, like, Hiei giving Makuro a very, very special birthday present.
Whoa, lewd. That sounds awfully lewd. What was that?
That's the thing. This is a PG chat. Look it up. Google it, Kenyatta.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're over here screaming penis in the chat. I don't know.
Of course they are, because no one's telling them not to, and I feel it's a fruitless effort to tell them to not to.
Give me mod privileges, I'll do it. I'll ban them all.
We're gonna have to get that super chat thing started.
Get all the money, get all the tips in here.
Let's see. Who doing what? So, whose butt?
Hiei's birthday present to Makuro.
No results because he butchered all the names. Oh, okay, I see how it's spelled.
I hate myself for what I did with this scythe. And I still had to complete it too. Gosh darn it. Love you and hate you, Zach. Love you and hate you.
Oh, he is Yu Yu Hakusho's version of Gara, huh?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, I don't remember watching a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho as a children.
Well, I binge watched all 12 episodes over the course of 9 days. It took me just over a week to watch Yu Yu Hakusho when I watched it a couple of years ago.
Answer questions on Yahoo Answers. Oh, a bunch of questions in Japanese. How do you know if you're prerogative? That's what this probably says in Japanese.
Yeah.
Going by,
Yahoo Answers.
Yeah. Prerogative. I love that guy. He's great. This is a guy who did a really, really awesome video where he just goes around and reads, like, questions from Yahoo Answers. How do you know if you're pregnant? No one knew how to spell pregnant. Pregnant.
Still trudging along here.
Oh my god, this guy wrote a book! Don't need a book. I can just smell this person. I can smell this person. They put the Japanese spellings of Makuro and Hiei in here. In freaking in kanji, I believe.
Probably.
You're amazing. I smell you. I smell you.
Ouch. Hey, Kenyatta, what's going on in the chat now?
What's going on in the chat? People are misspelling pregnant in the chat. Cassie screamed penis for some reason.
Just because I asked what was going on in the chat, probably.
Crassy screamed penis in the chat.
You've got a
Since
nickname now,
stop
Casey.
mispronouncing her name.
You've got a nickname now.
Crassy, you're crassy now. Because you're crass for screaming penis.
I'd say we're not in high school here, but I'm not sure whether or not there are any high schoolers in the chat.
Casey mentioned that she was 14 like an hour ago.
Oh, really?
So this is too not safe for you.
Nah, I'll save the not safe for work speed paints for when I get a Patreon, you know.
Oh, I should do that. I definitely do not quote unquote draw a lot of lewds, quote unquote. 2 quotes. 2 sets of quotes. I never ever draw lewds. Never ever. Something I never do. I don't like the accusation.
The only one accusing you here is yourself, Kenyatta.
No. I don't know. I'm not getting any, yo, yeah, never mind, here's some fanfics. Here's some fanfics.
Of what, Hiei and Makuro? We still on that? We still on that thread?
Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find the thing. But I will continue to search.
He got her a very special plant.
Was it like a hot beef injection?
No.
Is that what?
No. It was a plant.
No.
And the circumstances of...
a tentacle plant? Is it a tentacle plant?
No, it's not.
Oh. Well, then that can't possibly be lewd.
It's just, it's hard to explain without explaining certain other things, like Makuro's backstory, which is a little not safe for work in a, it's a little PG-13 to talk about. I mean, I should be able to explain it, right? I should, but it's like, I don't want to. Togashi really liked writing her character. But towards the end, he fell out of love with Yu Yu Hakusho, which is sad, which is why the ending of the manga was kind of meh. And the anime was kind of, yeah.
Casey Smith, don't worry, you guys know my name now, so I can't go on not safe for work streams like I can't make a fake account. Yeah.
fun fact, my first YouTube channel had a fake age on it because I wanted to watch Hetalia videos on Funimation's YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Scandalous, I know, but it's Hetalia, and the dub is a bit more crass, as it were, than the sub. I would recommend Hetalia subbed. I think that ever since the Ghost Stories dub, like Funimation, or at least certain people working with them, or whoever it was that worked on the Ghost Stories dub, they've just been wanting to do something like that again. Which is why with some things, especially comedies and parodies, they like to they like to try similar things. But it doesn't work as well. It doesn't work as well. And then people argue about it, and then, you know, everybody says the dubs suck, and then it's like, oh, you can't say that you like the Angels of Death dub better than the subtitled version, even if it does seem more like the game than the subtitled version. But that's just a translation, and blah 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 blah. I'm looking forward to episode 3. Some of my favorite quotes from Zach will be happening in episode 3, and I might actually hear them the way he said them in the game.
I like competing against like artists that actually went to art school, because they all follow this exact same like template of how to do things, and it's like. And that must be very restricting. It's like I'm, I was told that I
oh my gosh, I finished the handle on the scythe.
What?
Oh my gosh, I said, oh my gosh, I finished the handle on the scythe. I didn't even notice that.
Why didn't you use the line tool?
Because I tried, it wasn't working. You might see a little blip of me trying, and then I was like, no. The lines are just gonna have to look bad.
It's like this must really suck for you to have to like work within the confines of your small little box. I made a character reference. If you cannot remember what your character looks like off the top of your head, you don't need to be drawing.
I think I need to make a character reference for Leslie, because his size is most certainly not consistent in all of the pictures that I've drawn him in.
Like a size reference, like
yeah. How big? I mean, technically, he's my mascot, and I can do, you know, I can draw him whatever size I want him to be.
Mm-hmm.
I shapeshift him a lot just because it's fun. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, maybe there should be some level of consistency here. Maybe. Possibly.
Oh! Well, that's nice. I found some Snivy not safe for work.
Snivy?
That's great.
Like the Pokemon?
Snivy, the Pokemon. Not safe for work, Snivy.
It's a freaking baby, too. You degenerate human beings.
That's hot. Just the Snivy. The most, arguably the most cartoon-looking Pokemon.
No, there's definitely gotta be a more cartoon-looking Pokemon around there. I know there is, can't think of what it is yet.
Polygon, I guess? I don't know.
Porygon. It's Polygon.
Sword Art Online Abridged is amazing.
Or so I've heard. I've been told to watch the Abridged series instead of the actual series.
We need to start the Abridged series.
Of Red Garden. It's not an Abridged series. It's just a straight up, we don't care. And we want everyone to know that this show is bad.
Okay, so chat, I came up with a segment. There's a scene from Red Garden where they're all arguing, right? No, Rachel and her friends are arguing, screaming
above each other, right? So I had the idea of having that scene, changing nothing, but having the audio fade out, and a fight, the audio from a fight, from a World Star Hip Hop fight fade in, and like all of a sudden, the video will fade out, and
yeah, I think this will turn.
It'll show the footage from like a riot or something. I don't know. I'm too much of an artsy, freaking fartsy douche to come up with anything really funny. It's like, oh, this will make sense for me, in the meta sense, and then I'll look at it like a day later, and I'm like, oh god, I'm such a douche. My art. You remember what Kenneth said? He's like, oh, yeah, World Star Wing of Shoe. Maybe I'm just making it too complicated. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe I'm just trying to make it too complicated.
I think we should, I think that we should keep it because we need to make sure we have little snippets of stuff actually in here. But we've got to remember that we're gonna, like, squeeze 5 episodes of content into 1 episode, and it's only gonna be 5 minutes long or something like that. It's like you won't even be able to tell what's going on because you can't in the actual show.
Wing of Shoe, Pokemon not safe for work, however so surprising. Imagine all the Misty or Tentacruel stuff on there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm certain.
The Bulbasaur Ludes with the Vine Whip. Let's see.
Well, I think I managed to fix it a little. Yeah, the scythe is still going off to the side a little too much, but if I extended it, it would have a bunch of, like, blank space over here, so I guess this is just what it's gonna have to look like. Time to color Zach. Finally, I've been going at this for 2.5 hours now. I don't care. You know what? I like this. I'm having fun with this. And I also enjoy the chat. That's one of the reasons why I actually decided to stream this, was because I wanted somebody to talk to. I'm terribly lonely right now. I'm in the house by myself. Hashtag save the crackers.
I think you should keep the Cindy Lou Who look to your female character.
Oh, to Rachel?
Yeah.
She does look like Cindy Lou Who. Her hair's not supposed to do this thing, I just added that. Okay, okay, Zach, let's see. Bandage.
How do you guys know that Lenny was too lazy to copy paste? Know what?
Know what?
I'm asking Casey Crassy Smith. So what do you do? The color? Do you just like smear and then just like use the white fill tool to fill in like
for like base colors, actually. Maybe I should have used.
Oh, the Pokemon not safe for work you mentioned. Casey said.
Just because DeviantArt.
Okay,
That's how I know. Okay.
So
because I am on DeviantArt. Now you see what I do is I smudge as you see I smudge like this, and then I'll take the menacing off of there for a second, and then I go onto the line layer and select all of the outer lines, and then go back here and delete the colors, and all of the stuff that happened outside of the lines is now gone. And then just color inside the lines accordingly for everything else.
That seems like a lot of work.
Not as much work as using the fill tool.
Nah, I'll still use the fill tool. So, Casey Smith, you see, I'm Spam Cracker's, I'm her I'm her edgier friend, so I'm not gonna say. She's on a scale from like 1 to deep web. She's about. Yeah, she's a 1. She's like, yeah, she's a 1. I'm like. I'm a, let's see, what's like halfway between...
between 1 and the deep web. He's halfway between 1 and the deep web. That's the only measurement you can use. Hey Gabs, you still around? Because if you're still around, I'll take suggestions on color alterations for Zach, because I'm not sure I want to make the hoodie-esque part brown like how it actually is. Because he's a stand here, I can actually creative liberties. Any color suggestions?
Gabrielle says she's still here.
Okay. Should I make him straight up blood red? Is everyone just waiting for her response? Pressure's on Gabrielle like Anna's ultimate.
She's thinking, she says, Okay, so let's put it like this, Casey. I may or may not have drawn things that she would never draw. And I may or may not do that regularly. Now, just for like anatomy work, right? Just to get my anatomy. It's good anatomy exercise.
It's good to know your body parts.
Yeah, it's good to know your body. So I'm a furry. No. No, I'm not a furry. Specifically, I appreciate the art, but I think people who dress up in costumes and yeah, you know, be weird and smell. Yeah, I do not associate with those individuals. Do not associate with furries.
But if it comes to the art, yeah, it's sometimes good. Like the I don't know, the Disney Robin Hood style. That's pretty interesting.
Zootopia.
Zootopia. You know, Zootopia.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. You know what? I'll make him kind of a reddish brown color, and then I'll see where it goes from there.
Gabrielle, I think some stains here and there. I think some stains here and there, like on the character, would be cool.
Don't touch the don't shoot.
A silver is always cool for the robotic-looking parts. Maybe a different tone of red or black. Yes, black would look cool, but definitely keep the bandages whitish on the face.
Okay.
According to Gabrielle. A fantastical furry. No. Oh, I'm not gonna live that down, am I?
I don't think so. Not in this, not in this little niche group we have acquired here. Of the lovely people who tune into my streams. Much appreciated, by the way. Poor Rufus, he's probably waiting for his actual
Gabrielle
owner.
said if you don't do it, she's going to cut open your mattress and fill it with spiders.
I bet she did actually say that.
I mean, I'm just reading it out loud here.
And she's like PMing me saying, I did not! And she's saying, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, sister.
Would you rather listen to a big dummy, or would you rather listen to me? Oh boy. So no, I don't think furry. No, I like the art. I appreciate the art. It's not terrible.
She says, don't listen to the Fantastic Furry.
Okay, let's put it this way, right? I think I will openly use the word degenerate to describe some of the people in that fandom. Definitely. Yes, I appreciate the art, quote unquote.
Oh, poor Kenya.
Like, what do you? I appreciate the art. That's it. I don't play it by mentioning like fucking Disney Robin Hood. I mean freaking. I'm sorry. Filter myself. People are accusing me of things over here. I forgot myself. People over here, I'm not gonna live it down.
This is fun. I should totally,
so, like,
I should totally do this more
I know a few people from like high school and stuff that are legit furries. Like they go to the really weird conventions with the people that wear diapers and crap. And it's fursuits and just it's I'm like I can never see myself doing anything like that. Just like, this is just absolutely disgusting. I hope you feel terrible about yourself.
So how's this sound, Gabs, for this year? Since I can repurpose the Zack cosplay from last year, should I try to do Stan Zack this year? So that I look different from everybody else who's inevitably gonna be cosplaying as Zack, because Angels of Death has an anime this year. I'm gonna need
Gabrielle, do you want me to be Rachel?
If you want to be Rachel again. I mean, no one recognized you last year because you weren't with me when I got recognized by like 3 people. 4 if you count the other person who also happened to be cosplaying the same character, but I don't usually count that. It is a bit of a remedy. It is a bit of a remedy, however, that you got to use my niece cosplay, and that was fun. I make discount cosplays by ruining things that I buy from thrift stores. They work. Some are significantly better than others. I'm proud of the Zack one from last year, though. I should do this more often. This is fun.
This is fun.
And for anybody who's actually interested in the art, I will, when I'm done, I'm not going to finish this on stream. Things would go really late if I did. But I'm going to make sure that I put together a speed paint, and I'll I'll play one of the JoJo openings next to the opening from Angels of Death or something like that, and you can listen to music as you watch this thing inevitably come together. Looking good so far. I did a really good thrift store Diego Brando cosplay when I did that, what do you call it, when I did my JoJo panel back in 2016, though.
It's the half pupils, the half uncolored pupils that really do it.
Yes, I know, I'll probably erase those.
No.
Because you keep pointing them out. Cindy Lou.
Why, Santa Claus? Why? Why do you take our Christmas tree? Why?
Because you suck. He punches her in the face. Crassy Smaff says, this is really fun. Accusing people of things. Watching satisfying coloring things.
Oh, is it satisfying? Well, I'm glad I can appeal to that sense of, I don't know what you would call that sense of things just being satisfying by watching everything come together like that.
If there's a German word for it.
Yeah, probably. Not one in the English language, though. We're just gonna have to reappropriate the German word. I'm so glad English is my first language. I don't have a second language.
ASMR, Casey says.
Well,
I
I
guess
could move the, yeah, I could move my tablet closer to the microphone and then, continue the, coloring. Here is your ASMR.
Today we are watching Spam Crackers apply color to some line art. I want everyone in the chat to be very relaxed. And I want to get everyone in the mood. So,
You know what's a game I should play on stream? I should play the game Flower on the PS4. That's a super relaxing game.
what? Hello, chat. What is your... Oh yeah, breathes heavily. So, chat, what is your favorite relaxing game? Why don't you just type it into the chat and give us some suggestions of what you'd like to see. My mic smells like fresh plastic.
Oh no, wrong one.
Leishu says Stardew Valley.
Yes.
I'm definitely down for that.
Let's see how close I can get to it with this really big brush.
She's trying to get really close to it. Really big brush.
And then we can just do this.
Nothing about what I just said was dirty. The way I said it. Very dirty. Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. You know, we definitely have to play Stardew Valley. That'd be great.
I will get it. I will at least get the game soon.
Let's see how much it is right now on Steam.
Steam. Angels of Death is on Steam. As far as gameplay goes, I'm gonna stick by what I said and say it's not a great game, but it's quite the intriguing story. It's also not scary. And don't listen to the comments on Crunchyroll, it's not edgy either, especially if you've seen anything like Dead Man Wonderland. Was Red Garden edgy? Would you consider that edgy?
Oh, it was edgy, alright. Push the boundaries of what is tolerable. That's for sure. That's what edginess is.
If nothing else, it did put people on edge.
Ah, $15? Why is it $15? I mean, it's worth it, but that's still a lot for, I mean, I don't know. I'd pay $15.
Okay, let's scale it down. We're almost done with the base coloring, and then I'll probably do Rachel's hair and eyes. Because that's always where I start. Not supposed to start there, but I'll probably do her hair and eyes, and then I'll probably turn the stream off and start just recording. I don't think I've ever done a speed paint played at like 32 times normal speed, but I might actually try it for this one.
Wing a Shoe says that No Man's Sky is only $30. $10 for No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's an open world game, and I'm not into it. Like turn-based combat. The only turn-based combat game I would play is West of Loathing, but that's because it has everything else going for it. So I can put up with the turn-based combat. Oops.
And the combat isn't that hard either. It's like, exactly.
Pretty points. Farm animals. Stick your hands into grody spittoons.
Stick your hands into gross materials. Just plump it right in there. Right in the spittoon.
The narrator's just like, dude, that's gross.
Ignore the chemical burns. Ignore the fact that tobacco contains nicotine, and nicotine in concentrated forms is quite deadly. A common form of assassination in the Renaissance period was soaking someone's clothing in nicotine. Nicotine would absorb through the skin and would poison the wearer of the contaminated garment.
That's fascinating, Kenyatta. You can learn lots of random crap by watching me live stream and listening to the conversations I have with my friends.
I want to hear Chase try ASMR. I want to hear Chase try ASMR.
Okay, Chase, I know you're gonna watch this tomorrow. You gotta practice your ASMR.
I don't think Chase's voice goes that low, to be honest. he would just be like, I can't even do it.
No, let's be nice,
That would be
Kenyatta.
kind of funny though. Oh, Ken could do ASMR. Other Ken could do ASMR.
Yeah, you probably could.
That might be actually pretty great. He's got that.
Isn't
low
it just
run to-
Isn't ASMR just so that it gives you like this tingly feeling?
Yeah. It's like a tingly effect, and some people get excited by it. In this special way.
So here's a question about that guy's outfit. Why does he have arrows all over his outfit?
Because he's a stand, and I decided to take creative liberties with the design.
I see.
Just trying to make him look a little more stand-like.
I found one of these screws of schedules on this desk. I'm going to read from it. Period 1, Concept Chemistry. Period 2, English Honors 11. Period 3, Geometry.
I've got triangles. I'm coloring triangles right now. That's geometry, right?
Yes, it is geometry. Geometry is like 100% triangle. That's all you learn in geometry.
I love triangles. They're the best shape in the world.
Period 4, creative writing. I just stood on the desk and screamed a lot of creative writing.
She was a mean teacher, so she got it. I skirted well, she was very mean. so I tortured her, and it was funny.
Almost done. What else do we have to color?
Some sort of algebra class. Maybe like pre-cal or something.
Calculus is horrible. It's terrifying.
Period 6. Some sort of computer course. I can't remember.
Did you have homeroom?
What?
Did you have homeroom?
Homeroom? No, we didn't have homeroom. This is public school. High school. Just throw us at random teachers and hope we don't learn anything.
Casey Smith says, I'm taking geometry next year. I hate graphing, and geometry is nothing but that help. Oh, is nothing but that help. It's
as my
triangles, too.
one teacher said, there are two. You might not like math at all, but there are two types of math people in the world. There are geometry people, and there are math people.
Geometry
I
is
said that
more
wrong.
useful, though.
There's geometry. I said that wrong. There's geometry people, and there's algebra people. I said there are
Yeah.
math people. Whoops.
Geometry is for the more practical-minded, I suppose.
Mhm.
If you're like a woodworker or something, you like geometry. Because you like visualizing things.
I was definitely more geometry than algebra. I probably would have done okay in calculus in college, as it were, but I didn't have a good teacher. And it was hell.
I had maybe ADHD. Still don't know about that. I still haven't figured that out yet.
So, if you're
So,
lucky, when
usually
it
when
comes
people
to algebra and, like, Algebra 3, geometry, trigonometry, if you're lucky, you'll have a teacher that doesn't make you write out paragraph proofs. Proofs are the worst part when it comes to that thing. So remember the word proofs, and if your teacher doesn't make you write out paragraph proofs, consider yourself incredibly lucky. I didn't have to write them. I consider myself lucky.
I did. It was the worst, because I couldn't fucking focus her. I mean, freaking focus. I did it again. I said focus. My short-term memory is like really bad. And
Quick, everybody, start talking about Finding Nemo.
Yes, I'm Dory. And I just I lose focus really, really easily. So I would have a teacher explaining, you know, how to do, and I was just sitting there, hearing noise, and I'm like staring right at her, and I'm listening to noise. I don't hear anything else but. Then I start staring at the wall. And then I start drawing something, and that's how I learned how to draw. True story. Wing of shoe, fish are friends, not food. That was Shark Tale, I believe.
No, that was most certainly Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Okay, well, I can't. I hated Shark Tale. And I've only seen Finding Nemo once, maybe.
Okay, now let's just.
And I haven't seen Finding Dory yet.
It's good for a sequel.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Dory.
Baby
When
Dory.
she was a baby.
Baby
like
Dory
90%
is.
eyes.
Baby Dory is really, really adorable.
Casey Smith's Shark Tale sucks. Yes, it does. It's terrible. It's the worst.
Let's put humanoid faces on fish. Wow, that's a great design choice.
I was amused by the concept of the whale wash. I don't understand how it works, but, whale wash.
I like the fact that the sharks were in a mafia.
Yes, mafia sharks.
Mafia sharks.
That's an Italian stereotype.
Yeah,
So?
but... Wing of shoe, loan sharks. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
See, that's the joke.
That's the joke. Oh, that never even occurred to me before. Okay, yeah, props for that one, yes.
Aiden Nation is here. The lantern cord thumbnail is awesome.
Oh, thank you. It's finished now. It's finished now.
So, since Aiden Nation is here, and they missed my ASMR performance, I'll read a few comments in the ASMR. To be honest, Casey Smith says, I don't remember that movie, but I know I hate it. Oh, Casey Smith, I tend to agree with you.
That was like me before Chase watched Red Garden, because I watched it like a year before he did. And I was like, you know what? I don't even remember that much about it. All I remember is that I hated it. And then he watched it and commented at me as he watched it, and I was like, yep, I remember now. I remember why I hated it.
I can smell you through the screen. You smell like open sunshine. Do you feel like open sunshine?
Okay, new solid color. Oh, and here's we'll put the we'll put the menacing sound effects back on there so that everybody can kind of get a look at what it's looking like. Okay, time to.
What does open sunshine smell like?
Good question.
Oh,
no, don't drop the eyes. Don't do it. He looks like a who.
Okay, so for Kenyatta's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and take a. I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna go ahead and snip her face so that even after I ruin it, you're still gonna remember Cindy Lou Who. Okay.
Casey Smith says he's just standing there. Menacingly. Are those lewds in your picture folder?
No, that was stinking cancer cell from cells at work.
Oh, not safe for cells at work.
Not safe for cells at work. Okay, and now it's time to get rid of the eyes. Time to mess with them.
Low key, red blood cells kind of waifu. TBH.
Yeah, well, the waifu, they're not wars. People have their opinions, but Cells at Work is not a waifu war kind of show. So you may like your red blood cell, you might like your macrophage, you might like your eosinophil or your helper T cell. You may not have the platelet. You may not have...
No platelets.
No platelets! Platelets may not be waifus. Leave the platelets alone. Anybody but platelets.
Wing of Shoe, fun fact, platelets only live for 7 days.
Yes, I know.
That's not canon.
It's not canon to this particular series. I agree with everybody who's asking what the heck is going on. Who is this person? I honestly think that the person who keeps getting sick and stuff is Deku pre All for One. Or One for All. All for One is the bad guy. Whoops, I forgot. Yeah, it might be Deku, but I think that they would have a lot more problems with, like, the arm bones and stuff like that. People want to know what body is this? This could be the body.
Constant earthquakes.
Yeah, constant earthquakes, that's what it would be. It would be constant earthquakes. I'm gonna make it just a little bit softer. There we go. And then we'll just fix that up.
Who is your My Hero Academia waifu?
Did someone in the chat ask that?
No, that's me. I asked that.
Oh, you're asking the chat?
No, I'm asking you.
A waifu? I'm more of a husbando. Yeah. I'm more of a husbando girl myself.
Oh, it's Ida, isn't it?
Yeah. All Might actually is, like, my favorite character. Ida is my second favorite, followed very closely by Todoroki.
It's a mix-up for me between Froppy and Uraraka. Froppy because she seems level-headed, and Uraraka because she's adorable.
She is adorable.
She's so determined.
She could be an Undertale character, that's how determined she is. Just continue.
She just has, like, that facial design that she's, like, scowling, and it's cute. Like, oh, she's mad. Ochako? Is Casey Smith's best girl?
Ochako, yeah. Uraraka.
Ochako? Uraraka. Oh, okay, yeah. Anime is confusing.
It can be.
Wing of Shoe, yeah. Froppy does have that tongue, though.
That tongue, though.
Lewd.
Honestly, I would have never considered frog powers a blessing until I watched My Hero Academia. I'm like, oh wow, that's actually really useful.
well, in MHA, my top girl of all time is Nico Robin from One Piece. Mine is my all-time waifu. Maybe maybe Nina from not Code
Nia from Gurren Lagann?
That's the blind girl, isn't it?
No, that's Nunnally.
That's the racist lesbian in
Yeah.
Code Geass.
Yeah.
That's the racist lesbian. Well, I really don't like those dirty Japs. Whoa! Holy crap! Close this door and leave the paper towels. I'm gonna have a conversation with this table here. Oh no! That's terrible. She's an awful character. Nina from Gurren Lagann.
Nia.
Nia, there. Nia from Gurren Lagann. She's cute.
I don't know why I bother putting so much detail into eyeballs that nobody's gonna zoom in enough to look at. But whatever.
Yes, Casey Smith. She was a racist lesbian. It's like one of the most hated anime characters in my book.
Keep on making the pupils darker. Almost there. Okay. Go ahead and mess with the opacity.
The
a little
audacity.
bit.
It's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna invent a weapon of mass destruction. And I'm gonna freak out when they actually use it against people. What? You psycho. Best JoJo waifu. Who's your best JoJo waifu?
Best girl in JoJo. Who is best girl in JoJo?
Joseph.
Joestar is best girl. It's hard to argue against that, actually.
He's always in the background.
'Cause of the
freaking
frickin'-
out and damseling.
No, it's because
Yeah.
it's because of the tequila scene in Phantom Blood. I think that scene, like, the dub was pretty bad. I just don't like to say dubs are bad, but the dub for Phantom Blood and I think it was a directing problem. It definitely could have been done better. I've heard good things about the Stardust dub, though. Speedwagon, though. Speedwagon was good in the dub. Speedwagon is always good. I like to zoom out and see how I only have one part shaded and the rest of it looks all weird by comparison.
Better than Red Garden art.
I'm not sure if that's much of a compliment.
I know that we need to include bits from the screenshots that I took of really
this?
bad art, and the camera can just like slowly zoom in on the parts that are really screwed up. Like when Kate is holding a coffee cup and it's standing outside. I have no idea what they were doing with those hands. Those don't look like hands. They look like a mixture of like a seal flipper and wearing a mitten with like 3 extra finger holes on it. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. That definitely needs to be a thing. They could be talking and the camera just zooms up on their hand. On Kate's hand, and that could be seen.
I've gotta stop selecting the wrong layer. It's bad news. Sometimes you can deal with it, but other times not. Okay, let's... I got Rachel's beautiful blue papers.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Oh, Casey said, "Dem eyes," though. I agree. Those are nice eyes.
I'll be sure to send you the Cindy Lou Who screenshot, by the way.
Thank you.
Should I put it on my Twitter so that anybody in the chat can see the Who eyes?
Yeah, you should probably do that. Oh my goodness. Did anybody respond to that really mean tweet that I sent out? Oh, it was mean.
Okay, let's just give me a second here. Which way is the shading going? Okay.
I can get quite mean on the Twitters. It's like, oh look, what does this profile say? Neo-Nazi. I don't know what that means, but he looks like a kind of guy that would meet his future wife at a family reunion. Let's go let him know. Your wife looks like a Rottweiler. Your kid.
What's that one game? What's that one game that's like the insult generator game? There's like this funny insult generator game where you just play as these pixely looking people who are bouncing up and down, and they'll just give you like you construct sentences to build the best insult to throw at each other, is what you do. And that's what your commentary is reminding me of right now. I don't remember what it's called though.
Is it a computer game? Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. What's?
Are you talking about? You're not talking about Cards Against Humanity, are you?
No, not at all. It is in fact a video game. And it's funny because there's like, it has like all these hilarious bonuses, like there's a your mom bonus. So it's all about just... If I can remember what it's called, I'll tell you about it. It's funny. It's supposed to be humorous. It's clearly not something you're actually supposed to be offended by.
My sister bought Apples to Apples, and it's the tamest, most boring game I've ever played.
I love Apples to Apples, but it only works in really big groups.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should say it works best in big groups. The create your own card
Your
card.
mom is a card in Apples to Apples.
Yes, it is.
And your dad, too.
Yep. Let me think, you've got, like,
And your dad.
my family, you got ones like, it'll have, like, I don't like getting people, though. Like, you'll get a bunch of, because I'm not up to date on, or any kind of, what do you call it? Basically, there are a bunch of human beings that I should probably know that I don't know in that game, and I'm like, oh, I should probably know who these people are, but I don't. I'm a bad person who's not up to date on stuff. Well, it's taken forever. 3.5 hours, but I'm finally on the shading part. It's really sad because this is the fastest part, too.
What was I going to draw? Oh, yeah, I was going to draw, like, a Code Geass comic.
You're gonna redo the one?
I might, eventually. Maybe tonight, or later tonight. Tomorrow morning, I guess. I really should, like, get into, like, a regular sleeping pattern. Like a human being. But I can't sleep!
Sleep is for the weak.
Oh, sleep is for people who don't want to be weak. Felt absolutely dreadful this morning. I'm like pain. Oh, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Time to sleep.
Well, that's
boy.
right. I'm reading Dracula, and I have to read another chapter before I go to bed tonight. Yep. Speaking of spooks, I better call the dog in here. Poor little guy. He's probably waiting for Jessica to come home, but he's like, but she's not coming home tonight. She's out.
So, how are you liking Bram Stoker's Dracula?
It is. I've mentioned this before, but it is really good. It's kind of spooky, but at the same time, it's ironically hilarious. This Dracula fellow, he's kind of weird. He's got like little fangs that stick out over his lip, and his ears are pointed, and I never see him about during the day. Curious fellow.
Really, you know, nothing wrong here, but he's quite odd.
Yeah. No, I mean, eventually the guy figures out that nothing good can come of being in Dracula's castle, right? And at one point Dracula has him write these 3 letters, you know, the people he's supposed to be contacting, and he says, okay, so you're gonna date them these 3 dates, and he looks at the last date that he has him sign, and the guy's just like, yep, this is how long I have to live. And I'm just like, yep, you know, this is how long you have to live. It's like, it's ironically funny like that, just because you already know all this stuff about vampires and whatnot, and literally Dracula is the base for so much vampire lore and modern pop culture and stuff like that, and so automatically knowing who Dracula is like, it just makes it funny.
Wing of Shoe, those eyes are stealing my soul.
Well, be careful. Be careful. They will steal your soul. But we don't want your soul to be stolen because we want you to stick around. We enjoy having you in the chat. I enjoy the regular comers to the rare live streams, which may become more and more frequent.
It was Dio, not this Dracula wannabe. She says. You thought it was Dracula, but it was me.
It is me, Dio. Yeah, what the? It is a fact though that Araki took a lot of inspiration for Dracula when writing Phantom Blood. Also, one of the characters, no, do not deselect it yet. One of the main characters, his first name is Jonathan, so that may or may not also have to do with the fact that our first JoJo is named Jonathan.
Oh, good old JoJo.
Get on it, Kenyatta.
Are you interested in stealth games?
Does Barbie Super Spy count?
No, it does not. Barbie Super Spy. Let's talk about that. You could try, I'm not gonna like throw you in the deep end and say,
Yo, you gotta play Splinter Cell.
because that's the original Splinter Cell made me a very angry little boy. You try like some Metal Gear games. Dishonored, Wing of Shu suggested. Dishonored is pretty good. The Metal Gear games, just for the memes. Just for the memes.
I dig memes. I watched Initial D for memes, and I was not disappointed. Eurobeat everywhere.
So last night I was just like, what is it, like,
Top 10 Reddit, subreddits that you should never go on.
a bunch of edgy gore stuff. It's like, wow. Did I talk about this already?
No.
Oh, I must have. Oh yeah, I said I was talking to my sister earlier.
We talked about, we were talking about edgy stuff.
Yeah,
But
no.
that hasn't come up yet.
I was watching, like, spooky content.
Like, oh yeah, this Reddit is all about posting pictures of dead bodies.
Wow.
Okay. Where did
This Reddit is about how to make dead bodies. Wow. On 12.
It's like a bunch of 12-year-olds and like 3 legit psychopaths.
Like, wow, this is really great. This is very educational. Whoa.
Oh, layer again. Yeah.
This is very educational. I'm like, okay, Eddie McGee.
I've actually killed people. Chopped them up and put them in applesauce.
Well, not the applesauce.
That's what, what's that really good brand of applesauce? Munchkins?
Mott's?
What's applesauce? Whatever, the really good brand of applesauce.
That's what it really is, it's people.
Oh, see, your eyes already look better. Gonna do that to the
So,
other one then
like-
because they're a little
Like
off.
this chunky kind, like with like cinnamon and stuff, and it was amazing. Well, that was people.
I need to accept it now as people.
Oh no.
Soylent Green is made out of people. Oh, you should watch Soylent Green. If I can suggest some movies. Watch Soylent Green. It's made out of people.
No, don't.
That's the big twist, but it's the meme of that movie. because the line delivery was just so terrible. Who was it? Charlton Heston is in that movie. And the guy from The Rifleman.
Oh, that'll work for now.
Made out of people. Like, wow. Great acting, Charlton.
I'm still on the right layer, right?
See why you got chosen biblical epics in the 70s. Who do we get? Who do we need? Who are we gonna get to play like this Hebrew kid guy posing as an Egyptian? Oh, we'll get the whitest man in the country. Brilliant.
I'm almost done here for the night. Probably finish it up tomorrow.
My name is, Wing Shoe, my name is Edgy MC Edgelord. My words alone can cut you into pieces, I assume you meant to say. Right. Yeah, I can see that. I definitely cannot stand edgelords. They are, they're people that just, I don't know, like they're just trying to shock people because their parents never hugged them. I don't know. Like, oh, it's okay, Wingishu. It's the internet. Everybody spells bad on the internet.
What did it say about the microphone settings? Well, whatever. Hopefully everybody can still hear me.
I can. Well, Dishonored is a good, stealth game. The second one is really demanding on your PC. Oh, Casey's leaving.
That's okay, we're about to get off here anyway. I did the hair and the eyes basic, and I will probably finish this up in my own time and record it, and then we'll see if I can get a speed paint up on my channel without it getting, what do you call it? Without it getting flagged. Ooh, one really quick, let's...
Why would it get flagged?
Oh,
you're adding copyright music to it?
Yes. It will most certainly be adding copyrighted music. And then what you do is you select inverse.
One of my videos is flagged.
And
There's
then
one
you
that
go
I
to
took
colors.
down.
And
Why
then you
was
make
it
it this
Oh yeah, it
Actually,
was,
we're gonna
when
make it
I-
red, because we're gonna make it
I
red.
played AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, for a little
now?
while, and then I decided not to. But
Ta-da.
every time I died, I played Sad Romance. Yeah, I got copy striked like a month ago. I was like, what? I hit this video. It's not even. I made it hidden. I depubliced it. Why would you be interested in flagging this?
Well, there we go, and I colored the sound effects just to make it look a little bit more JoJo here. We'll finish it later. Thank you everybody for tuning into the spam channel. Considering all I was doing was drawing and chatting it up with you guys, I had a lot of fun doing this. I missed a spot! Somebody in the future is going to be really bugged by the fact that I missed this spot for the longest time. Come along. There we go. We're fixing it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you liked it, I know that I liked it. I enjoyed the conversation. It's easier to talk when I'm not playing Overwatch, because my attention isn't so split screened. Maybe we'll do this again in the future. But yeah, all I can say is thank you, and I will see y'all later.
Bye, Chat.
Yeah, bye. Bye, chat.